watching Train to Busan at the moment. Kind of. Oh, hi. Nothing really. Just watching a stupid a really good Korean horror film.
What's it called?
How are you? Train to Busan.
All fire.
Right? I still haven't seen the second one.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
There is. It's called Peninsula. So in that one, like North
Okay.
and South Korea have joined because of the let's say pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever talked about zombies before?
Never. No, I don't think so.
I'm almost done, by the way. Yeah,
That's sick.
I really
I'm
am.
fucking
Like
excited.
300 pages in.
Sheesh.
I know it's long. It's too long.
No, that's amazing. The longer the
The
better.
songs.
That's not what she said.
She said it. I heard her say it.
I know. I cried.
So, what is the title of your sex tape anyway?
What?
What is the title of your sex tape anyway?
It's it's called The Invisible Man. It's just her
God
having
damn it!
sex with
That's
other
funny.
guys, and I'm not there.
Oh, mine's not that. Mine's called Stranger in a Strange Land.
Oh no.
No, it's called And Then There Were None. No,
Like
I'm sorry. It's called
horror.
And Then There Were Nuns.
And then there were none.
And then there were nuns.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
and then there were nuns.
Have you
Should
ever
that be the
watched it?
title of this space instead of
I think so. Yeah.
Ichizoto?
That would be great. What up, Renee?
Everybody can have
Also, have you ever watched Cheech and Chong, the first movie?
Cheech and I knew this. Hold on.
Up in Smoke?
Yeah, Up in
Cheech.
Smoke.
Hmm? I've never seen Chong do coke under a table.
Yeah,
I mean, where would I see that? Zoe.
that scene where all the nuns they drop their doobie by the nuns at the border and then leave, and then the border patrol like searches all the nuns and starts feeling them up, and it closes in on their faces, and they're all like loving it.
Wait, that sounds like sexual harassment. I'm just kidding. Obviously, it sounds like fucking good Cheech and Chong fun. Of course. Oh, and I know what scene you're talking about. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Should we like go over films that like people don't watch anymore because they're like so scared? Like that Blazing Saddles,
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun, Airplane. I mean,
Oh,
at least
Airplane.
part 2.
Yeah.
Tron?
Do you think so, Tron? I think you're right. Oh God, of course you're
Oh,
right.
definitely the original for sure. Yeah. Oh my god.
Is there a remake?
Yeah, Disney
Yeah.
made it. It was actually pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
the remake was pretty good, and I thought as well.
I want to make the space title something like the film was better. You know, like something that's like really dumb like that. I just can't get the wording right.
Films. I don't know. And then there were nuns. Yeah, I like that for now.
It's close. It's on 2 lines. That's the problem.
I think of that scene. There's like a scene. I'm trying to think of the movie, but like they go past the nuns and they have like this really evil look, and they use it for like some of the witch house music clips.
I've seen a lot of nuncore. Is there a word I can remove from the film was different from the source by me? Oh, God damn it, that's so funny though.
How about The Fly? Remember that one?
Oh, yo, for real. I forgot all about that. We had to read the book in like junior high.
Yeah, it was trippy.
I love a lot of early horror before. Hold on.
The Big Lebowski.
Oh my god! Fuck me! Oh my god!
Here's the money, Lebowski. Oh, Napoleon Dynamite. Seen that forever.
What's a Napoleon? I can do this. Hold on a second. Shut up, Tina. What is it?
What are you gonna do today, Napoleon? Whatever I feel like to do. Gosh.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I can probably do Pedro a little better than Napoleon.
Pedro's iconic.
Pedro is iconic.
I was very hot, so I drank some cold water.
I was very hot. So yeah. Oh my god, yours is good.
Last night I dreamed of some Pedro.
And that was just
I don't know if that's how this movie goes.
He goes to school.
They go to the same school. He wants to run for president of the school. I feel like I'm pretty close to the accent, but I just don't remember his basic structure and or cadences. That's not going to help anyone. Can anyone here do an Elon Musk?
I'm not sure.
Should I change the title of the space to Elon Musk impressions?
Oh, you see, Tesla.
I like his profile pictures.
And my kids, they were homeschooled. I think that's the best
pretty
one.
Good.
I don't feel
I could
like people. When I smoked that joint on Joe Rogan. No, I didn't think about it at all.
I didn't think about it at all. Like, Joe Rogan is an icon. No, his voice is so stupid. I can even.
I like his voice.
You like who? Elon Musk?
Yeah. I haven't memorized like some of, but like when he talks about trying to help the improvement of everyone and switching,
he's making fun of you. You know that, right?
Making open source for Tesla.
He's making fun of all of us.
I don't mind being made fun of.
You know what? Yes, you do. You got pissed off at Lambda Moo for doing a little gentle version of it. This space should be a reading of Hyperloop. Hyperloop by Elon Musk.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Should I fix this? I'm using a swipe board, and it wrote Hyperloop by Ron Much. I should fix it.
I just put on Cheech and Chong's next movie.
I'm dubious.
No, you're not. Like, how many times do I have to tell you? Like, when you think you're, like, being a cute David Spade, like, little boy, who's like, I'm telling you straight up, you're doing not that. Do whatever.
Okay. I'll try to move away from that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll show you. Okay, yeah, you're right. Like, this is stupid as hell. I don't know why I tried it. But anyways, it's like, enough about what that says about me. What are you up to? That's how you would get. Never mind. Do it your way because you're so cute. Right? I'm
That guy in
it's so
little
long and
coat.
stupid. I'm just gonna read it as fast as is possible because it's so empty and stupid and vapid. You know, like Elon Musk's vagina.
Oh wow.
What? Like, that's what we're gonna do here. Like, we're not gonna do nothing. Like, I don't have a better idea, which says a lot more about me.
Well, we can go over the Lambda Moon.
I'm always up the land. I think you're not. Just
I know.
give my reading of Hyperloop a chance. I promise it's not like it's not a real thing. You know, he's not really proposing a Hyperloop. Even the Wikipedia article seems to think he is, but it's just a long piece of crap. Was he ever proposing an edit button, etc.?
I thought that's pretty cool that he made his company's tech open source. I mean,
Okay,
that
look at the open source directive. That's OSD. See, contrast that with actual free software, like the FSF, GPL. Like, when you're just open source, you can do what Proton Mail did. They can claim, well, we're going to become free software, open source, on this date. And then on that date, they, quote, open the front end, but they leave the back end, of course, for security purposes, closed source. So what the fuck kind of open are they? Can you dig it?
Oh.
So this is written by Elon Musk in 2013, is that right? Oh god, it's so dumb. Introduction. A reading. I'm just putting this. I want to tag Elon Musk. That's all. A reading of Elon Musk's stupid masterpiece entitled. Is there a way I can get it wrong? You know, like hypo loop. Nah, I'm just gonna write it correctly. And then write saws right after that. That's how this space is gonna be.
Okay.
Okay, so introduction. The first several pages will attempt to describe a design in everyday language, keeping numbers to a minimum and avoiding formulas and jargon. I apologize in advance for my loose use of language and imperfect analogies. The second section is for those with a technical background. There are no doubt errors of various kinds and superior optimizations for elements of the system. Feedback would be most welcome. Please send them to hyperloop@spacex.something or at something. I would like to thank my excellent compadres at both companies, referring to the domains, for their help in putting this together. Background. When the California, quote, high-speed rail was approved, I was quite disappointed. As I know, many others were too. How could it be that the home of Silicon Valley and JPL, doing incredible things like indexing all the world's knowledge and putting rovers on Mars, would build a bullet train that is both one of the most expensive per mile and one of the slowest in the world? Note, I am hedging my statement slightly by saying one of. That's in quotes. I swear to Christ, it's in quotes. I am hedging my statement slightly by saying one of. The head of the California Speed Rail project called me to complain that it wasn't the very slowest bullet train, nor the very most expensive per mile. Jesus Christ. The underlying motive for a statewide mass transit system is a good one. It would be great to have an alternative to flying or driving, but obviously only if it is actually better, that's italicized, than flying or driving. The train in question would be both slower, more expensive to operate if unsubsidized, and less safe by 2 orders of magnitude than flying. So why would anyone use it? That sentence again. The train in question would be both slower, that's number one, more expensive to operate if unsubsidized, and less safe by 2 orders of magnitude than flying, so why would anyone use it? You guys get this, I hope. If we are to make a massive investment in a new transportation system, then the return should be equally massive. Compared to the alternatives, it should ideally be, this is a bullet list here, safer, faster, lower cost, more convenient, immune to weather, sustainably self-powering, resistant to earthquakes, not disruptive to those along the route. Is there truly a new mode of transport? A fifth mode after planes, trains, cars, and boats that meets those criteria and is practical to implement? Many ideas for a system with most of those properties have been proposed and should be acknowledged, reaching as far back as Robert Goddard to proposals in recent decades by the RAND Corporation in ET3. Unfortunately, none of these have panned out. As things stand today, there is not even a short-distance demonstration system operating in test pilot mode anywhere in the world, let alone something that is robust enough for public transit. They all possess, it would seem, one or more fatal flaws that prevent them from coming to fruition. And Section 1. Section 2, constraining the problem. The hyperloop, or something similar, is, in my opinion, the right solution for the specific case of high-traffic city pairs that are less than about 1,500 kilometers or 900 miles apart. Around that inflection point, I suspect that supersonic air travel ends up being faster and cheaper. With a high enough altitude and the right geometry, the sonic boom noise in the ground would be no louder than current airliners, so that isn't a showstopper. Also, a quiet supersonic plane immediately solves every, that is italicized, long-distance city pair without the need for a vast new worldwide infrastructure. However, for a several hundred-mile journey, having a supersonic plane is rather pointless, as you would spend all of your time slowly ascending and descending and very little time at cruise speed. In order to go fast, you need to be at a high altitude, where the air density drops exponentially as air at sea level becomes as thick as molasses. Parenthetical, not literally, but you get the picture. As you approach sonic velocity. You still like this guy? Like,
yes. Yeah, you
so,
travel supersonic speeds, and how when you get up higher, you go faster because of the lack of molecules.
I'm making fun of this douchebag. I've never read this. Why would I possibly read a paper called Hyperloop by Elon Musk that's 58 pages? The next section. So what is Hyperloop anyway? This is gonna be fun. It's only it's barely a half a page. So what is Hyperloop anyway? Short of figuring out rail transportation, which would of course be awesome, someone please do this. The only option for super fast travel is to build a tube over or under the ground that contains a special environment. This is where things get tricky. At one extreme of potential solutions is some enlarged version of the old pneumatic tubes used to send mail and packages within between buildings. You could imagine in principle using very powerful fans to push air at high speeds through a tube and propel people-sized pods all the way from LA to San Francisco. However, the friction of a 350-mile-long column of air moving at anywhere near sonic velocity against the inside of the tube is so stupendously high that this is impossible for all practical purposes. Another extreme is the approach advocated by RAND and ET3 of drawing a hard or near hard vacuum in the tube and then using an electromagnetic suspension. The problem with this approach is that it is incredibly hard to maintain a near vacuum in a room, let alone 700 miles round trip, of large tubes with dozens of stations, gateways, and thousands of pods entering and exiting every day. All it takes is one leaky seal or a small crack somewhere in the hundreds of miles of tubes, and the whole system stops working. However, a low pressure versus almost no pressure system set to a level where standard commercial pumps could easily overcome an air leak, and the transfer pods could handle variable air density, would be inherently robust. Unfortunately, this means there is a non-trivial amount of air in the tube and leads us straight into another problem. Is how smart Elon Musk is.
It reminds me of Futurama, where they're all like in the tubes. Like
Elon Musk is like our Einstein.
Thank you. Exactly. Like,
which makes
it's
Grimes
insanity, you know?
his secret genius queen.
I think Grimes is the patent office.
Exactly. Board.
No, Grimes is the whatever took the stuck out tongue picture. I should have added her. I mean, this, like, this dude has nothing to do. Hi. Like, yeah, we're writing. We are actually doing the play. You fucking. Next section: overcoming the Kantrowitz limit. Oh me, oh my! What is the what? Whenever you have a capsule or pod, I am using the words interchangeably. Moving at high speed through a tube containing air, there's a minimum tube to pod area ratio below which you will choke the flow. What this means, oh thank you, Elon. Oh god, were you guys worried? What this means is that if the walls of the tube and the capsule are too close together, the capsule will behave like a syringe and everybody will eventually be forced to push the entire column of air in the system. Not good. That's one sentence, by the way. Not good. Nature's top speed law? What? Nature's top speed law for a given tube to pod air. Jesus Christ. Nature's top speed law for a given tube to pod area ratio is known as the Kantrowitz limit. This is highly problematic as it forces you to go either slowly or to have super huge diameter tubes. Interestingly, yeah, he just started the sentence with interestingly. Interestingly. That's a 5-syllable word that doesn't need to. Interestingly, there are usually 2 solutions to the Kantrowitz limit. One where you go slowly, and one where you go really, really fucking fast. The latter solution might sound appealing at first until you realize that going several thousand miles per hour just means you can't tolerate even wide turns without painful G-loads. For a journey from San Francisco to LA, you will also experience a rather intense speed up and slowdown, and when you get right down to it, going through a transonic buffet in a tube is just fundamentally a dodgy prospect. Do we get this yet? I mean, really, Rain, do you not get it, or do you think it's funny?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm just sitting here enjoying you reading this right now.
Both for trip comfort and safety. Both for trip comfort and safety. It would be best to travel at high subsonic speeds for a 350-mile journey. For much longer journeys, such as LA to New York, it would be worth exploring super high speeds. And this is probably technically feasible, but as mentioned above, I believe that economics would probably favor a supersonic plane. The approach that I believe would overcome the Kantrowitz limit is to mount an electric compressor fan to the nose of the pod that actively transfers high-pressure air from the front to the rear of the vessel. This is like having a pump in the head of the syringe actively relieving pressure. All right.
Very good.
This is literally the worst thing I've ever read. Like, this is the worst thing I've ever read. It's so bad. Like, it's so poorly done in every conceivable fashion.
Is this a scientific paper or a transcript?
It's Elon Musk's Hyperloop. It's an ostensibly this is a proposal for a train, but it's really a piece on philosophy written by someone who just hasn't read anything. I mean, Elon Musk.
I bet the marketing team just eats it up. Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen. It would also simultaneously solve another problem, which is how to create a low friction suspension system when traveling at over 700 miles per hour. Wheels don't work very well at that sort of speed, but a cushion of air does. Air bearings, which use the same basic principle as an air hockey table, have been demonstrated to work at speeds of Mach 1.1 with very low friction. In this case, however, it is the pod that is producing the air cushion. I thought he already told us that he was using the terms interchangeably.
Magnetic. You can use
Rather
magnetic.
than the tube, as it is important to make the tube as low cost and simple as possible. Welcome to Twitter
That
Space.
probably would be because it would. Well, I don't know how much if it would be more energy consuming
Okay,
with
listen,
the
he's
magnet.
not talking about the thing he's claiming to talk about. He's making fun of everyone. Like he thinks he's smarter from everyone. Like, he's asking, do you want an edit button on Twitter? That
I
then
don't
begs
think
the
he's
next
being
question of
racist.
whether a battery can store enough energy to power a fan for the length of the journey with room to spare. Based on our calculations, now there's an R. Apparently, there's a we. Based on our calculations, this is no problem so long as the energy used to accelerate the pod is not drawn from the battery pack. What? This is where the external linear electric motor comes in, which is simply a round induction motor, like the one in the Tesla Model S. Rolled flat. Rolled flat? Like cheese folded in flat? Like, what? This would accelerate the pod to high subsonic velocity and provide a periodic reboost, roughly every 70 miles. What? The linear electric motor is needed for as little as negative 1% of the tube length, so is not particularly costly. Do I need to read that again? The linear electric motor is needed for as little as negative 1% of the tube's length, so is not particularly costly. Do we understand yet? That's the end of that section. How does that work? The linear electric motor is needed for as little as negative 1%. It's needed for nothing minus a percent of the length of the tube. It kind of seems like he's fucking with you.
I'm thinking.
The next section, which I don't know if we'll do or not. Yeah, we're at page 5. Let's go to okay, it's 58. Okay. Can someone divide that by some number?
So that'd be like 42 and a half.
So I'm reading Elon Musk's paper Hyperloop. We're at the section making the economics work. Bottom of page 4. My premise here is that this is not a paper. This is not a sincere paper. The most recent paragraph. This is where the external linear electric motors come in.
It'd be 27. 58. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wow. You find him that attractive. That's cool. This is where the external linear electric motors come in, which is simply a round induction motor, parenthetical, like the one in the Tesla Model S, rolled flat. This would accelerate the pod to high subsonic velocity and provide a periodic reboost roughly every 70 miles. The linear electric motor is needed for as little as negative 1% of the tube's length, so is not particularly costly. Rain, you sure you're making fun of the right thing?
I was not trying to make fun of anything. I was
making the economics work. The pod and linear motors are relatively minor expenses compared to the tube itself, several $100 million at most, compared with several $billion for the tube. But even several billion is a low number when compared with several tens of billion proposed for the track of the California Rail project. The key advantages of a tube versus a railway track are that it can be built above the ground on pylons, and it can be built in prefabricated sections that are dropped in place and joined with an orbital seam welder. By building it on pylons, you can almost entirely avoid the need to buy land by following alongside the most very straight California Interstate 5 highway, with only minor deviations when the highway makes a sharp turn. Even when the hyperloop path deviates from the highway, it will cause minimal disruptions to farmland roughly comparable to a tree or a telephone pole, which farmers deal with all the time. A ground base high enough for a speed rail system by comparison needs up to 100 feet wide swath of dedicated land to build up foundations for both directions, forcing people to travel for several miles just to get to the other side of the property. It is also noisy, with nothing to contain the sound, and needs unsightly protective fencing to prevent animals, people, or vehicles from getting onto the track. Risk of derailment is also not to be taken lightly, as demonstrated by several recent fatal train accidents. End of section. And he really did that. He said, to prevent animals, people, or vehicles from getting onto the track. You guys can hear that this is all nonsense. It's absolute gibberish. I really don't know if he knows that or not.
Well,
if you disagree, like,
I'm not disagreeing. What is going on?
Let's finish this page, which is page 5. So there's just 2 small sections left. Earthquakes and expansion joints. I'm sorry. Earthquakes and expansion joints. I don't know how to do an Elon Musk. Earthquakes and expansion joints. A ground-based high-speed rail system is susceptible to earthquakes and needs frequent expansion joints to deal with thermal expansion /contraction and subtle, large-scale land movements. By building a system on pylons, where the tube is not rigidly fixed at any point, you can dramatically mitigate earthquake risk and avoid the need for expansion joints. Tucked away inside each pylon, you could place 2 adjustable lateral parenthetical XY in capitals. I don't know. Parenthetical XY dampers and 1 vertical parenthetical Z. What? Damper. These would absorb the small length changes between pylons due to thermal changes, as well as long-form subtle height changes. As land slowly settles to a new position over time, the damper neutral position can be adjusted accordingly. A telescoping tube, similar to the boxy ones used to access airplanes at airports, would be needed at the end stations to address the cumulative length change of the tube. Like, what do you guys think about pylons? I think
it's aircraft.
Next section, can it really be self-powering? I swear, there's a question mark. Can it really be self-powering? For the full explanation, please see the technical section. Oh my god. But the short answer is that by placing solar panels on top of the tube, the hyperloop can generate far in excess of the energy needed to operate. This takes into account storing enough energy in battery packs to operate at night and for periods of extended cloudy weather. The energy could also be stored in the form of compressed air. What? That then runs an electric fan in reverse to generate energy. I'm so sorry. The energy could also be stored in the form of compressed air. that then runs as an electric fan in reverse to generate, and I'm so sorry, to generate energy, as demonstrated by light sail. Good God. That's the end of the non-technical 5 pages. Thus begins Hyperloop Preliminary Design Study, Technical Section 1 Abstract. This is amazing, isn't it? Like we're already at the technical section. We're at page 6 of 58.
So you get the compressed air and you run it in reverse, and that gives you extra inertia.
I cut out for a bit.
Do I exist? Like, am I here? Like, no. Like, let me read that again. Like, just that piece. Because I barely could get through it. The energy could also be stored in the form of compressed air. First off, what? That then runs in an electric fan. What? In reverse. What? To generate what? Energy. What the fuck? As demonstrated by light sail. What the like you get this, right? Like he's fucking with you. Page 5. That's
Yo,
the
how I
end
can
right there.
pull
That's the
ideals
end of the
from this.
non-technical section. He is straight up the whole first 5 pages saying you're not going to read past page 5. He keeps it like that's right. For the full explanation, please see the technical section. But the short answer is by placing solar panels on top of the tube, the hyperloop. Yeah, cool. 1 abstract. I don't know if we should keep going or not.
Keep the train going. Fuck. We're what? 6
Right.
pages in?
Yeah,
Fuck it.
it's a hyperloop. Like, let's hype up and loop this shit.
Woo woo.
All right.
Hype train incoming.
Woo woo. I don't know. What sound does it make? Like, something like that?
Chugga, 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 chugga. Poop, poop.
Kay's usually good with sounds. I don't know. Any chance?
Hey, can you do any train sounds?
It's alright if you don't feel like it. Hyperloop. Preliminary Design Study. Technical. Section 1. Point. Abstract. I didn't do that right, Jack. Abstract. That's hard, AB. Abstract. Existing conventional modes of transportation of people consist of 4 unique types: rail, road, water, and air. Jesus. These modes of transport tend to be either relatively slow, for example, that is, it says e.g., in a parenthetical, e.g., comma, road and water, end parenthetical, and expensive, e.g., in a new parenthetical, comma, air, end parenthetical, or a combination of relatively slow and expensive, new parenthetical, i.e., comma, rail, close parenthetical, period. Hyperloop is a new mode of transport that seeks to change this paradigm by being both fast and inexpensive for people and goods. Hyperloop is also unique in that it is an open design concept similar to Linux. Feedback is desired from the community that can help advance the Hyperloop design and bring it from concept to reality. Hyperloop consists of a low-pressure tube with capsules that are transported at low and high speeds throughout the length of the tube. The capsules
Reminds me of
are
Dragon Ball
supported
Z.
by a cushion of air. Sorry?
Reminds me of the Dragon Ball Z, like the
Hello?
captain, like the round spherical spaceships.
I can't tell if you're making fun or not. Like,
I'm not making fun
well, you should
because
be. Like,
well, this is why because when I
so we
relate
just
like
got, anyone who just joined, we just got to the abstract, which is on page 6 of 58. Hyperloop, we just did that, right? Did we? Yeah. In this study, the initial route, preliminary designs, and logistics of the Hyperloop transportation system have been derived. The system consists of capsules that travel between Los Angeles, California, and San Francisco, California. I'm sorry, I did not read that incorrectly. I don't know. The total one-way trip time is 35 minutes from county line to county line. The capsules leave on average every 2 minutes from each terminal, carrying 28 people each. New parenthetical. As often as every 30 seconds during rush hour and less frequently at night. End parenthetical, period. This gives a total of 7.4 million people per tube that can be transported each year on Hyperloop. The total cost of Hyperloop is under $6 billion United States dollars, 2 one-way tubes and 40 capsules. Amortizing this capital costs over 20 years, and adding daily operational costs gives a total of $20 USD plus operating costs per one-way ticket on the passenger Hyperloop. Useful feedback is welcomed on aspects of the Hyperloop design. Email feedback to boop@boop.boop or boop.boop.2 table of contents. This is seriously the table of contents. 1. Abstract, which we just read. It's above this. We're above this. 2. Table of contents. God, that sounds familiar. It's on page 6. Oh, that's literally where we are. 3. Background. 4. Hyperloop Transportation System 4.1. Capsule 4.1.1. Geometry 4.1.2. Interior 4.1.3. Compressor. Suspension. Onboard power. Propulsion. Cost 4.2. Tube. Geometry. Tube construction. Pylons and tunnels. Station construction. Cost 4.3. Propulsion. Capsule components. Parenthetical rotor. Tube components. Stator. Energy storage components. Cost. Propulsion for passenger plus vehicle system. 4.4. Route. Route optimization. Los Angeles /grapevine -south. Los Angeles /grapevine -north. Center section of I-5. I-580 /San Francisco Bay. Station locations. 4.5. Safety and reliability. Onboard passenger emergency power outage. Capsule depressurization. I swear to God. 4.5.2 is capsule depressurization. Capsule stranded in tube. Holy fuck. Capsule depressurization. Capsule stranded in tube. Structural integrity of the tube in jeopardy. Earthquakes. Human-related incidents. Reliability. Cost. 5. Conclusions. 6. Future work. I mean, this is who this... We get this, right? That's the end of that section. We're now at section 3 of the technical spec, which had its first section first, and then a table of contents at 2, and then listed the first section abstract in the table of contents, along with the second section, the table of contents, and then straight up just said to us, capsule depressurization, capsule stranded in tube, structural integrity of the tube in jeopardy, earthquakes, human-related incidents, reliability cost. Any Elon Musk fans here?
I got the PDF pulled up now.
I'm on page 8 at the near top at 3. Background. This is the worst thing I've ever read. Like, it's so difficult. The corridor. I'm sorry, I'll just... Okay. Background. The corridor between San Francisco, California, and Los Angeles, California, is one of the most often traveled corridors in the American West. The current practical modes of transport for passengers between these two major population centers include... I'm not kidding. This is actually an ordered list. Like an ordered line by line, row by row. Road, parenthetical.
Would you like to take turns reading?
Sure. You want to read the list?
Okay, So you're on page 9, you said? Okay, so the hyperloop transporting system, figure 2, a proposed transportation system for traveling between Los Angeles, California, and San Francisco.
I'm sorry, does he have a magic dick? Like, what is it? Does he have a magic? I don't get it.
I was just trying to stick to the curriculum today.
Curriculum? All right. Like, you get this, right? I mean, not the musk paper. That's incidental. Like, trying to bring something nice and fun and not yet done to Twitter Spaces. Like, by trying to disrupt that, it's like, what do you think you'll be left with? Why do I care? Oh, right, people that I love. Never mind.
Yes.
Over the past days, we've done a table read of Romeo and Juliet. We've discussed a 2003 New Yorker piece on how they couldn't get the politically appointed to approve a barrier on the Golden Gate Bridge, even though all data on other popular suicide points of jumping, which is the most effective method of suicide, showed that the rates when a barrier is placed reduces to near nothing or, most frequently, nothing. Instead, they spent literally 20 times as much building a unnecessary thing that keeps the bicycles okay, though there's never been one bicycle fatality, and another 3 times as much on the median, so there wouldn't be any head-on collisions. These are things, right? These are things that the Golden is known for. That's why it's called the Golden, right?
That was intense.
Trying to do something other. You know what? Let's do this instead. So, where are you guys from? Hey, guys. You know, like, I'm not saying Hyperloop's a good idea.
The memento mori.
Obviously,
That was
there's no
interesting.
idea in the paper the paper Hyperloop.
You're saying it's the best idea.
That is what I'm saying. I'm saying it's the best idea I've ever heard of.
Of course.
God, I want Elon Musk's babies inside me. You know? I want him to just Hyperloop them in. Like, I'm a
Oh
two.
my god.
Hold on. Like, I want to be. I want to be in I mean, on pylons, and just have a tooth. Like, I want
Holy
Elon
fuck.
Musk -1% inside of me. I'm gonna write that to him right now.
So does the negative create like a vacuum, like a suction pool?
Yeah, like followed by complete bliss.
Rain,
Right.
you're seriously asking if the negative one, like, he's saying, well, the length of this needs to be -1% of the length of the thing it would be inside. It's nonsense. This is This is a paper proposing something that he's calling it hyperloop. That is ultra recursion. Like recursion, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Hyperloop. Have you noticed that I'm pretty much reading the same fucking thing? Let's go next. A new mode of transport is needed that benefits the current modes without the... I promise, this is the next thing. The current modes without the negative aspects of each. The new speed transportation system has the following requirements. Another ordered list. 1. Ready when the passenger is ready to travel, parenthetical, road. 2. Inexpensive, parenthetical, road. 3. Fast, parenthetical, air. 4. Environmentally friendly, parenthetical, rail / road via electric cars, and parenthetical, and ordered list, and anyone's interest in this idea, which is, worth about -1 points out of anything.
So I wonder if that would reset your grade. The negative. Or if it just would add none, like just take a point off.
Am I insane, or what is happening here?
Just trying to calculate.
Oh my god, this is actually... Okay, this is fun. The next thing has on point... It's another ordered list.
God bless.
But it has a reference, and it says reference, and it's a hyperlink in parentheticals. It has an HTTP with no S, and it's a .php.
Science.
What the... Yes. Science. We have the technology.
Indeed.
The current container of our new transportation system between Southern and Northern California is the, quote, California High-Speed Rail, end quote. The parameters outlining the system... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Jimmy Neutron.
Sorry, what was that?
Jimmy Neutron. Who is that?
Right. Jimmy Neutron. Point 1. Currently, $68.4 billion USD proposed cost. That's not what it sounds like to have Elon's dick in your mouth. Let me
what?
Get a better
what the fuck are you talking about? No?
I'm talking about you sucking on Elon like this. Hold on, just listen.
Why did
Alright,
you
I'm
do
gonna debate for a big guys. I gotta take my dog for a walk.
Brian.
Oh my god. Oh.
Point 2.
What's going on?
Average speed of 164 miles per hour. That is in a parenthetical.
Parenthetical.
264 kph. That's kilometers per hour.
Perhaps.
Between San Francisco and Los Angeles. Point 3. Travel time of 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Hyperloop.
Right. Yeah. 2 hours and 30 minutes between San Francisco and Los Angeles. Subsection A. Compared with 1 hour and 15 minutes by air.
Nigga.
Point B. Compared with 5 hours
and
40
on?
minutes by car. New point 4. Average one-way ticket price of $105.
I can't hear.
This is where the reference is.
Yeah, crazy.
What do you mean? Are you better? Are you a better suck?
The what?
I'm out.
Okay, that's where the
Remember
reference is.
Me in
the
your
reference
prayers.
Is to
Remember
you. In your prayers.
:
Remember
What do you mean?
in your prayers. What? Wait, what?
Oh, really?
Remember you in your prayers. What should I remember you in your prayers?
Shut the fuck up.
Remember.
You don't know.
Alpha Romeo.
No. Rain, you shut the fuck
up. You shut the fuck up.
You shut. Totally.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, you're a creative concept, Rain. And then, what is this? Comedy and drama. And you're from the UKHHC.
Egypt.
Oh my god, Shad.
Anyways, man, don't go crazy. Let's balance and take your time with your journey.
No, not go. I'm
Don't
already
get
there.
lost.
I'm reading Hyperloop in a space.
You feel me? What does that mean? I wonder what you're experiencing
more?
right now.
Do you have more? Hold on, let me suck something. Oh, Shad, are you? Do you have a...
What?
Yeah, I know, right? What? Whereabouts in the fucking existence are you, man?
What?
Yeah, what is she trying to do?
What am I trying to do?
No, what are you trying to do?
I tried to promote Elon Musk's Hyperloop.
She just fucking bugged me out, man. I thought it was a dude.
Haven't you read anything of French philosophy?
Oh, baby.
It's all about simulation, simulacra. It's about the conspiracy of evil and art.
Man.
It's about how every sign, structuralism in the postmodern era. It's about how every sign points at anything except for what its label says.
Buddy.
Shad, funny fucking stuff, huh?
Hey, man.
You're a poor actor, you're a poor performer, and you suck at what you do.
Balance.
You still suck at what you do. Do you get it?
I don't.
Oh my god.
Tell Elon, don't tell him, just bite his dick off in your mouth, okay? You good?
Oh my god.
There's a natural spirit to you.
Oh my god!
There's a natural spirit to you. Oh.
I love this.
Makes you want to fuck bitches.
Do you know how fucking damaged you have to be able to do this?
Bitches.
You have to be totally broken inside by shit like Hyperloop. It's a fucking 68-page... 58-page paper that has its technical specification begin on page 5.
Zoe, I like to play,
I
eat pens, I'm evil, I wear green dresses, worn off. My hair
I can't
is
hear you with
white.
those balls in your mouth. Can you take the balls out of your mouth? You can't.
What?
You can't take the balls out of your mouth and like that. I know what the bandana's for.
Never been balls in my mouth.
Yes, there are. Grimes' balls are in your mouth. And I know you're trying to power clash with your stripes there, but come on, you don't have the body for it, do you?
Shut your bitch ass up.
No.
Hey man, seriously.
Oh my god.
Listen.
Shut your bitch ass up. Oh, I could actually make you. You done?
Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah, I am. I'm fucking crazy. Tell Elon. Don't tell him. Just bite that dick off. Yeah, it'll taste good. It will. It'll struggle going down like an octopus. Have you ever eaten a live octopus? Let's keep reading. 4.B. Compare with $115 round trip by road. Parenthetical. $4 over a gallon. 30 miles per gallon vehicle. Next paragraph. Why can't you be quiet? Are you afraid of
Why
Elon
can't
Musk?
you be quiet?
Because this is my space.
But you're a host. You have to host the conversation.
I live here. This is my space.
Tell us more about yourself.
Can't I be quiet in my space? I can, but I won't. See, I can do that. Do you need me to do that, or can you just listen? A new high-speed mode of transport is desired between Los Angeles and San Francisco. However, the proposed California high-speed rail does not reduce current trip times or reduce costs relative to existing modes of transport. This preliminary design study proposes a new mode of high-speed transport that reduces both the travel time and the travel costs between Los Angeles and San Francisco. It does say, and San Francisco. Options are included to increase the transportation system to other population centers across California. It is also worth noting that, oh god, this is a fucking figure, that the energy cost of the system is less than any currently existing mode of transport, figure 1, in parenthetical, of course, period. The only system that comes close to matching the low energy requirements of the Hyperloop is the, let's all say it together, fully electric Tesla model.
Fully electric Tesla.
Don't say the name of the brand again. I just realized that. Okay, is the fully electric Ford F-150.
The fully electric Ford F-150.
Let's all raise a glass to the fully electric, because as was said by Grimes, the only system that comes close to matching the low energy requirements of the hyperloøp is the fully electric Ford F-150. Huzzah! Everyone drink heartily like you're thirsty.
Go. Delicious. Delicioso.
Oh, muy delicioso. It's a perfect. There's just enough vodka, like it's all vodka. It's just pure. I'm into the alcoholic, you know. You understand? I need the alcohol.
Yes.
My name is Roy, and I'm the alcoholic.
It's nice to meet you. Hey.
Thank you. I feel very welcome here, and like this is a safe space. And I just want to thank everyone for contributing to the Web3 DeFi democratized artificial intelligence thingy. You're also pretty, and I'm really afraid of how much money I've put. Is anybody worried that the money isn't? You guys notice, right? That the money, like, have you read the contracts? Like, go to the right sections. Like, what the fuck are all these? Why is there an owner in the right? Like, don't you own it? Etc. Like, that would be an interesting paper, wouldn't it? Think you're still in the right place, Shed? So, figure 1. What do we have here? Oh my god! I just need to post. There's no way to describe this. Of course there is. It's just funnier to post it.
Looking at figure 1.
Uh-huh.
The Hyperloop Alpha.
Have you seen?
It's like
exactly.
So figure 1. Energy cost per passenger for a journey between Los Angeles and San Francisco for various modes of transport. It's almost as if this is meant to make fun of the people taking it seriously. And I don't think it's funny. That's all.
That's awesome.
It kind of is, I think.
Yeah, I like the way you did that.
Totally destroyed that dude. Like, he's not gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
It was mostly for you to see how much I need help defending myself. You get it. I help. Mm-hmm. And all that. Like, I mean, you understand, I'm feeling nothing there. Like,
right.
that's just, like, I'm actually a really great voice actor. I really am. I just don't actually reveal it in public much.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I sound like off Twitter. I'm not this aggressive. I'm actually quite a soft little thingy.
Yeah.
Can't be that here, you know? Reading Hyperloop, you get that douchebag.
Yeah.
What do I write to Elon? At Elon.
I was thinking about working on like so like we got the spiral. We got I definitely want to finish Uzumaki.
Oh my god, dude! Like right now.
Yeah.
I have to tweet this fucking figure 1.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing about his work. You know, let's put next to it, because I'm tired of doing his. Like, obviously his work doesn't deserve my skill. Let's put it next to some good philosophy. Let me see which of the French philosophers' works is closest to being called the hyperloop. So I just copy pasted the chart, and I'm writing at Elon Musk, "You're a fraud," etc. You get it.
Let's see. I'm looking.
I'm doing it right now. I wonder if I can tag him in a photo. Oh my god. This is so funny. Are there still people in my Discord? Like, yes, there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they think I can't see them because oh my god, it's so funny. No wonder they're Elon Musk fans, you know?
Yeah.
Right, because, like, there's no way. Right.
Right.
Not like, it's like, this is my whole screen, right?
Are you on Discord right now?
Aren't I always?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Super cute question.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Nobody's on there.
No, it's just somebody I really like. Somebody I really like is at the top of my like suggestion thing. In my world, that means that they've actually been paying attention to my work lately. They're so much better at this than me. Okay, I'm tagging myself and Elon Musk. That's
okay.
Why am I doing this? Oh, it's a figure, right? And your description. Okay, let's put a description.
I understand.
This figure 1 energy cost. This is just so weird. It's by far the worst thing I've ever read. It's so weird.
Do you want to take turn of reading this today?
Do you want an edit button? With a period, of course. Unless you are a fraud, etc. You get, yeah, that's perfect. Let me just make sure that sends immediately.
Okay.
Then we're going to switch to, I don't know, what should one of the, where did I put the new thing? No! No! No, it is! Well, it should show up in a second. Am I still playing Train to Busan? Good lord. Okay, so let's go with toward the end of their life, whoever it is. Okay. Who writes Simulacra and Simulation, if that's the right title. So they're Jean Baudrillard. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. That's my problem there. Like,
is that one of the philosophers?
Yeah.
I
Like, I want to
want
demonstrate here the difference between real philosophy and what Elon Musk does. Because you know that paper is not about a train, right? You get that. Like, the technical section has nothing. Like, that chart.
The compressed air reverse fan.
I feel like the only way it's possible to really show what I mean is let's see, I'm going through my own index. It's not very memoized. It's probably best to go with the transparency of evil. Yes, that's a good one to do. Okay, here's one of them. Like, you're going to see what I mean eventually. This is going to make sense. This is I'm going to go with Baudrillard. Baudrillard.
I'm excited to see
Baudrillard. Jean Baudrillard. The Transparent of Evil, Essays on Extreme Phenomena. Part 1.
Baudrillard.
Say it again. Say it.
Baudrillard.
Baudrillard. Yeah, perfect. So, The Transparency of Evil by Jean Baudrillard. Also, sometimes this piece is called After the Orgy. But that's not really written here. Oh, yes, it is on the next page. Part 1. Since the world is on a delusional course, we must adopt a delusional standpoint towards the world. Better to die from extremes than starting from the extremities. Next page, After the Orgy. If I were asked to characterize the present state of affairs, I would describe it as after the orgy. The orgy in question was the moment when modernity exploded upon us, the moment of liberation in every sphere. Political liberation, sexual liberation, liberation of the forces of production, liberation of the forces of destruction, women's liberation, children's liberation, liberation of unconscious drives, liberation of art. The assumption of all models of representation, as of all models of anti-representation. This was a total orgy, an orgy of the real, the rational, the sexual, of criticism as of anti-criticism, of development as of the crisis of development. We have pursued every avenue in the production and effective overproduction of objects, signs, messages, ideologies, and satisfactions. Now, everything has been liberated. The chips are down, and we find ourselves faced collectively with the big question. What do we do now the orgy is over? Now, all we can do is simulate the orgy, simulate liberation. We may pretend to carry on in the same direction, accelerating, but in reality, we are accelerating in a void, because all the goals of liberation are already behind us, and because what haunts and obsesses us is being thus ahead of all the results. The very availability of all the signs, all the forms, all the desires that we had been pursuing. But what can we do? This is the state of simulation, a state in which we are obliged to replay all scenarios precisely because they have taken place already, whether actually or potentially. The state of utopia realized, or of all utopia realized, wherein paradoxically we must continue to live as though they had not been. But since they have, and since we can no longer, therefore, nourish the hope of realizing them, we can only hyper-realize them through interminable simulation. We live amid the interminable reproduction of ideals, fantasies, images, and dreams, which are now behind us, yet which must continue to reproduce in a sort of inescapable indifference. The fact is that the revolution has well and truly happened, but not in the way we expected. Everywhere, what has been liberated so that it can enter a state of pure circulation, so that it can go into orbit. With the benefit of a little hindsight, we may say that the unavoidable goal of all liberation is to foster and provision circulatory networks. The fate of the things liberated is an incessant communication, and these things are thus subject to increasing intermediacy to the principle of uncertainty. Nothing, parenthetical, not even God, now disappears by coming to an end, or by dying. Instead, things disappear through proliferation or contamination, by becoming saturated or transparent, because of extenuation or extermination, or as a result of the epidemic of simulation, as a result of their transfer into the secondary existence of simulation. Rather than a mortal mode of disperance, then a fractal mode of dispersal. Nothing is truly reflected anymore, whether in a mirror or in the abyssal realm, parenthetical, which is merely the endless reduplication of consciousness. The logic of viral dispersal in networks is no longer a logic of value. Neither, therefore, is it a logic of equivalence. There is no longer any such thing as a revolution of values, merely a circumvention or involution of values. A centripetal compulsion coexists with a decentredness of all systems, an internal metastasis or fevered endogenic virulence, which creates a tendency for systems to explode beyond their own limits, to override their own logic, not in the sense of creating sheer redundancy, but in the sense of an increase in power, a fantastic potentialization whereby their own very existence is put at risk. All of which brings us back to the fate of value. Once, out of some obscure need to classify, I propose a tripartite account of value: a natural stage, use value; a commodity stage, exchange value; and a structural stage, sign value. Value thus had a natural aspect, a commodity aspect, and a structural aspect. These distinctions are formal ones, of course, reminiscent of the distinctions between particle physicists and what they are always coming up with now. A new particle does not replace those discovered earlier. It simply joins their ranks, takes its place in hypothetical series. So let me introduce a new particle into the microphysics of simulacra. For after the natural, commodity, and structural stages of values comes the fractal stage. The first of these stages had a natural referent, and value developed on the basis of natural use of the world. The second was founded on general equivalence, and value developed by reference to a logic of the commodity. The third is governed by a code, and value develops here by a reference to a set of models. At the fourth, the fractal or viral or radiant stage of value, there is no point of reference at all, and all value radiates in all directions, occupying all interstices, without reference to anything whatsoever, by virtue of pure contingency. And at the fractal stage, there is no longer any equivalence, whether natural or general. Properly speaking, there is now no law of value, merely a sort of epidemic of value, a sort of general metastasis of value, a haphazard proliferation and dispersal of value. Indeed, we should really no longer speak of value at all, for this kind of propagation or chain reaction makes all valuation impossible. Once again, we are put in mind of microphysics. Microphysics. It is as impossible to make estimations between beautiful and ugly, true and false, or good and evil, as it is simultaneously to calculate a particle's speed and position. Good is no longer the opposite of evil. Nothing can now be plotted on a graph analyzed in terms of abscissas and coordinates. Just as each particle follows its own trajectory, each value, or fragment of value, shines for a moment in the heavens of simulation, then disappears into the void along a crooked path that only rarely happens to intersect with other such paths. This is the pattern of the fractal, and hence the current pattern of our culture. Let me immediately go back to Elon Musk's paper. Hyperloop, figure 2 and figure 3, is a proposed transportation system for traveling between, etc. I think we get it, right?
I like the way that was flown when you were talking about the fractals.
That, again, is Baudrillard's... sometimes it's called transesthetics, sometimes it's called the transparency of evil, sometimes it's called after the orgy. It depends on which school of translating French accurately you want to... I'm really into after the orgy. What do we do after the orgy? That's the question. When things, signs, or actions are freed from their respective ideas, concepts, essences, values, points of reference, origins, and aims, they embark upon an endless process of self-reproduction. Anyone want to pitch an NFT right now? Yet things continue to function long after their ideas have disappeared, and they do so in total indifference to their own content. The paradoxical fact is that they function even better under these circumstances. Thus, for example, the idea of progress has disappeared, yet progress continues. The idea of wealth, that production once connoted, has disappeared, yet production itself continues more vigorously than ever. Indeed, it picks up speed precisely in proportion to its increasing indifference to its original aims. Of the political sphere, one can say that the idea of politics has disappeared, but that the game of politics continues in secret indifference to its own stakes. Of television, that it operates in total indifference to its own images. It would not be affected, in other words, even were mankind to disappear. Could it be that all systems, all individuals, harbor a secret urge to be rid of their ideas, of their own essences, so as to be able to proliferate everywhere, to transport themselves simultaneously to every point of the compass? In any event, the consequences of a disassociation of this kind can only be fatal. A thing which has lost its idea is like the man who has lost his shadow, and it must either fall under the sway of madness or perish. So how's everybody doing? You guys good? Like, everybody cool? Like, what do you guys watch? Shit, I don't know. Unfortunately, maybe, what I just read, and none of that was mine. I probably threw some swear words in. I don't remember. That was all true. Obviously. Commerce no longer is commerce. I mean, the thing called art is not even anti-art anymore, is it? The thing called art is commerce. The NFT space, bro. Like, thank you guys for... Hey, guys. I always forget. Hey, guys. Thanks for supporting the community. It's so pretty. You know, you don't read the contract. Like, it doesn't matter that there's, like, 50 dumb things in the right section, like, 25 dumber things in the read that I don't understand. Just don't read it. Like, and don't worry about the link. Well, according to Yahoo, I believe 70% of links rot in 1 year. Woof. That really complicates hedging your bets on crypto coin nonsense, doesn't it?
Good point.
It's a point.
True.
It just gets very difficult to differentiate. That's a good, bad. These, like, when we look at what is the market of art now, do we think, do I like that? Does that move me? Is it pretty? Is it ugly? Does it not move me? No, we think, how much am I willing to tell everybody I was willing to pay for this? That's what a contract is, right? It's, yeah, the links over there already, like, if even Ethereum's own white paper, as if there's such a, it should be called a request for comment, except they didn't write a text spec, did they? The text spec would have to specify how much Ethereum are we actually taking out of the blockchain and making non-fungible, because the blockchain by definition is fungibility. So how the fuck are we doing this? Oh, we're not. I get it. It's a trick. That's all.
Hyperloop, is that a paper by Elon?
Yes. So we started reading that, and it's insanity. Like, let's go back there for a sec. This is, now we're in the technical specification. So, in addition to these aspects of Hyperloop, safety and cost will also be addressed in this study. The Hyperloop is sized to allow expansion. The network becomes increasingly popular. The capacity would be on average 840 passengers per hour, which is more than sufficient to transport all of the 6 million passengers traveling between Los Angeles and San Francisco per year. In addition, this accounts for the 70% of travelers who use the Hyperloop during rush hour. By the way,
fuck, I'm sorry, I'll leave.
The fuck are you talking about? You'll leave.
I don't know.
Every day the same bullshit. Anyway, he's already said this over and again. Let's just go down a few pages. Just as aircraft climb to high altitudes to travel through less dense air, Hyperloop encloses the capsule in a reduced pressure tube. The pressure of air in hyperloop is about 1/6 the pressure of the atmosphere on Mars. What the fuck? This is an operating pressure of 100 pascals, which reduces the drag force of the air by 1,000 times relative to sea level conditions and would be equivalent to flying about 150 feet altitude. A hard vacuum is avoided as vacuums are expensive and difficult to maintain compared with low pressure solutions. Then let's immediately do this. We see art proliferating whenever we turn. Talk about art is increasing ever more rapidly. But the soul of art as adventure, art with its power of illusion, its capacity for negating reality, for setting up an, quote, otherscape in proportion to reality, where things obey a higher set of rules, a transcendent figure in which beings, like line and color on a canvas, are apt to lose their meaning, to extend themselves beyond their own raison d'etre, and, in an urgent process of seduction, to rediscover their ideal form, even though this form may be that of their own destruction. In this sense, art is gone. Art has disappeared as a symbolic pact, as something thus clearly distinct from that pure and simple production of aesthetic values, that proliferation of signs ad infinitum, that recycling of past and present forms which we call culture. There are no more fundamental rules, no more criteria of judgment or of pleasure. In the aesthetic realm of today, there is no longer any God to recognize his own, or, to use a different metaphor, there's no gold standard of aesthetic judgment. There is no reserved currency for pleasure. The situation resembles that of a currency which may not be exchanged. I promise I am reading this out of the text. The situation resembles that of a currency which may not be exchanged. It can only float. Its only reference itself. Impossible to convert into real value or wealth. Art, too, must circulate at top speed, and is impossible to exchange. Quote, works of art are indeed no longer exchanged, whether for each other or against a referential value. They no longer have that secret collusiveness which is the strength of a culture. We no longer read such works. We merely decode them according to ever more contradictory criteria. Nothing in this sphere conflicts with anything else. Neo-geometricism, neo-expressionism, new abstraction, new representationalism, all coexist with a marvelous facility amid general indifference. It is only because none of these tendencies has any soul of its own that they can all inhabit the same cultural space, only because they arouse nothing but profound indifference in us that we can accept them all simultaneously. Let me get back to hyperloop. Geometry. In order to optimize the capsule speed and performance, the frontal area has been minimized. Are we good?
Yes.
We're in bad shape, people. This is bad.
Can I ask when this was published? I don't believe that he wrote it himself.
Oh, hyperloop was only the shit. Like, I'm reading from, I wanted to put right next to hyperloop actual philosophy. This is, I'm so bad at Baudrillard, I think. Whoever wrote, Transaesthetics, or...
I'll look it up. I wasn't familiar with it.
But yeah, that's what I'm reading now. Of course, this isn't Elon Musk. Like, Elon Musk just keeps saying, so the tube goes to Los Angeles, and then it goes to, like, San Francisco, and up Grimes' butt, and she's got a photo shoot today because she's a musician.
Oh, don't be mean to them, please.
To bad musicians? No, I will not be mean to bad musicians who are at a photo shoot today. I don't have to look, and neither do you. But go ahead, and then tell me, no, she's not at a photo shoot today. With her 1 fucking million followers. Unethical at the point you have...
Oh.
Where is the point? I think it's when you have, I'd say 1.5 as many followers as people that you read everything they write.
Well, I just want to try to be positive, talk about something, like what we're reading, the philosophy.
Who was it who said, speak extremely softly and carry no stick? Oh, it's you, right now, Rain.
It would be me, I guess. I don't have a stick.
Look,
I have a fucking katana.
nobody loves this. Like, it's not awesome, obviously.
Well, okay. That was my
The
little
art
evil
law
line.
presents a
Sorry.
curious aspect. It is as though art and artistic inspiration had entered a kind of stasis, as though everything which had developed magnificently over several centuries had suddenly been immobilized, paralyzed by its own image and its own riches. Behind the whole convulsive movement of modern art lies...
Are you switching from hyperloop to Baudrillard?
Yeah, I'm at Baudrillard's or whatever after the orgy on what's my page 10. Like anything that sounds
keep cutting
like
out.
it makes
I don't
sense.
know why. I'm sorry. Both of you guys.
That'll happen. I know it kind of sucks, but there's little we can do about it right now. Behind the whole convulsive...
I wasn't sure if you.
Okay,
I wasn't sure if you pinned something and you guys were reading it. You know, like a hodgepodge.
It's fine to. I'll put it up. It's just so. Honestly, I just thought nobody's gonna be able to read this.
No, I think readings in Twitter Spaces is the most amazing idea. I was reading another essay while you were reading.
Were you? Oh my god, good. Like that, because then we've done a Romeo and Juliet. We've done a suicide paper for the New Yorker. We've done Hyperloop by Elon Musk, and something else. Like maybe we're actually doing something. I don't know.
I like where this is going.
Right?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Holy shit. Like, Memento Mori. Remember, it is inevitable that we will all die. It's not some sort of threat.
I thought it was interesting
that
how
many times on Memento Mori, which ends in a comma, by the way.
Well, and it's almost as if it's kind of relevant, because if you think about how it's infected many different cultures and how Memento Mori can be... You said stop.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. Yeah,
that's
it's
why this space is.
Oh, and
that's
like
why I'm putting Hyperloop by Elon Musk next to actual philosophy. Like, it's almost as if they're sandwiched in Elon. Like, there's real philosophy just like sandwiched in Elon Musk.
I have some theories, and I don't think Elon Musk has a Memento Mori tattoo. That ain't one of them.
Please tweet that to him at Elon Musk. I don't think you have a Memento Mori tattoo.
I thought it was
let me do it. Actually, I've already been atting him a lot. Like
do a quick Photoshop of him with the Memento Mori on his arm.
I don't do that. Like I don't want to make something that's not like reality. There's enough of that already. You know, like there's enough generative whatever it is like.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I'm
deep fakes. Deep fakes are like the last wave of controversy. There's nothing.
I don't know
left.
What that means.
Exactly.
Obviously, I don't. Yeah.
But you brought it up though, because Rain, I didn't even know. Twitter doesn't tell me, and suddenly I just saw it. But like, you responded to the Memento Mori again.
Yeah, so like I thought it was interesting how it correlated to lots of different cultures, like how
So
one culture.
First thing that I did when I woke up, because this is a literal description of my experience. My 8 kilobyte AI program where the database doesn't get any bigger because it's actually AI, told me, look at this. And then I write Rain something like, thank you for reading the Wikipedia article on Memento Mori.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah. Also, for your fun, I made Rain read most of the Snow Queen in a recorded Twitter space last night. I used some Pavlovian conditioning by replacing Gerda with Elsa at every turn, and every time it was done correctly, throwing an emoji that kind of looks like that, but it was blue. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So the next
it's an interesting
that you think you're protecting or doing something cool, just remember which thing you should be afraid of, Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely not Memento Mori. And it definitely is Memento Mori with a fucking comma. That is so fucking smart. Like, it's so good. Do you get it at all? Memento Mori, comma.
Memento Mori. I thought that was interesting. How
the Wikipedia article?
I did.
By the way, Wikipedia. It is a wiki first. It is a encyclopedia second. Wikipedia. That is the correct pronunciation.
Wikipedia.
In my humblest.
Awesome. So I thought it was interesting how like they would keep the skulls of their ancestors and they would recite that Memento Mori. So like, you know,
I've always wanted to be fucked with like a broken skull, like a sharp part of a broken, you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Well, like, let me flip it on you, because people see the skull and they see something negative, but look at the skull and think of it in the palm of an actor's hand on the stage of the Globe Theater.
To regurgitate or not to regurgitate. This is the Elon.
I also thought it was interesting.
Honestly,
like how,
I just think, yay, bone meal. I eat tonight.
Yeah. You can feed mycelium bone marrow.
I love bone marrow. Oh my god. So when mom was dying, I got to take the test to see, like, am I compatible? Like, her breast cancer metastasized. Isn't that a cool word? Metastasized. So it was like, isn't it just pretty? Like, it's so, stage 4 breast cancer metastasized inner bone marrow. Like, so it's not really anywhere else in the body. Wink. Like, it's cancer, of course it is, but like, it's mainly in the bone marrow, so she needs a transplant. Like, I got to have that injection. It hurts so bad. Fuck, I would give anything for that right now. Oh, I mean, because I'd feel something. When a living form becomes disordered, when, fuck me, as in cancer, a genetically determined set of rules ceases to function, the cells begin to proliferate chaotically. Just as some biological disorders indicate a break in the genetic code, so the present disorder in art may be interpreted as a fundamental break in the secret code of aesthetics, by its liberation of form, line, color, and aesthetic notions, as by its mixing up of all cultures, all styles. Our society has given rise to a general aestheticization. All forms of culture, not excluding anti-cultural ones, are promoted, and all models of representation and anti-representation are taken on board. Where art was once essentially a utopia, that is to say, ultimately unrealizable, today this utopia has been realized. Thanks to the media, computer science, and video technology, everyone is now potentially a creator. Even anti-art, the most radical of artistic utopias, was realized once Duchamp had mounted his bottle dryer and Andy Warhol had wished he was a machine. All industrial machinery in the world has acquired an aesthetic dimension. All the world's insignificance has been transfigured by the aestheticizing process. I didn't plan that, by the way. I didn't know what came next. That's insanity. Go ahead, hand raiser. What the fuck? Come on. You can interrupt me whenever you want.
Oh, sorry. No, I was trying to open this and then I got a pop up or something. Hold on. I need help. This is not related. And this is so cool that you're reading this, by the way. The Transparency of Evil, Essays on Extreme Phenomena.
That's
what page are you on?
My page 11. So at the top, no, I just, I'm halfway through page 11, like at It Is Often. I can't believe that it went straight to Cancer right there. I had no idea.
Oh, it jumps from 7 to 15 or 16.
It does.
Okay.
That is by design here.
Page 11. Can I ask, like, I shouldn't even ask. I'm deleting this tweet. I retweeted that Vitalik Layer 3 essay, and then someone that I follow, like, responded. I'm sorry, I skipped this. After layers, then crust. And this is, how unrelated is this? Bacon, lettuce, tomato, not the emperor kind, no, just an actual tomato.
I wouldn't delete anything. But,
I'm deleting it.
No, don't, because you can't. Like, look, like their profile. Also, apparently I follow them. Oh, they're from the Pepe Liberation Army.
Friend. No, they're totally a friend and an ally, but he's bringing up a thing about Emperor tomato ketchup. Like, that's some
right. So you get
unrelated.
to decide, is this worth it? Like, what is this? I don't care.
Unrelated trauma. I totally support it. Fuck that shit. But
then you can't delete things that are good.
So then it looks like I deleted something bad. Fuck. All right, I'm just gonna respond with something nice.
We don't respond to terrorist threats. That's all.
It's not a threat. It's
yes,
just it's at me. I'm friends with the dude.
But what is he talking about? And look at his profile. He's like, "We're not dead yet. Like the anti-psyop club will rise again."
Yeah.
Like, really?
He's talking
about that?
He's like obsessed with Basie. You know. There's this thing called male aggression.
I know of a thing called aggression.
No, specifically, it's high levels when attached to testosterone, which is fine. It's just the way it is. But I'm not affected by it, so like I'm able to see it.
There's a bunch of incels. Yeah.
No, but it's like I get it. Like if you see something wrong in the world, it is natural, like you to want to do something about it.
Yeah. What's wrong in the world is that his dick's not wet, right?
That is the problem.
I'm happy to do something about it.
Yeah, dicks need to get wet.
I can't fuck the whole world.
Oh, Zoe, you're so. Some people need to learn their purpose in life. I don't know. We're talking about art. Rain's gonna get upset. Now keeps coming in and out.
Of course he is. That's his. I don't know.
Go back
to the reading. Which is like a breakfast cereal, I think.
Yeah, a lot of like looking
often.
for the sweets. Like I'm gonna find the candy in the box. No, that was a good one. We keep going from Elon to Baudrillard, and Elon's like super hyper Ayn Rand, like let me build my railroad, right?
Well, no, it's okay. So on his paper Hyperloop, takes 58 pages, and the like technical part of it, as he's putting it, starts on page 5, on page 6, and so it says Hyperloop preliminary design study technical section, then 1 abstract, then it just keeps talking about tubes. I'm so sorry. It's just it's absolutely silly. Then Part 2, table of contents. It literally, Part 2, table of contents. It lists 1, abstract. 2, table of contents. I just don't think he's funny. That's my point. That's all I'm trying to prove.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with the thing a minute ago, is I just can't take all the dark stuff. Like the dude said just an actual tomato. I could have said something about nightshades.
Right, but it's better to just ignore
It's
shit
too
like
late.
that.
I said definitely unfortunate. Period.
That's perfect. As long as you just remember, you can't delete a tweet.
I delete stuff all the time,
No.
just not
It's already indexed.
What does that mean? Indexed to who, though? Not to the surface
whose benefit level. At Twitter? How would they benefit from allowing you to actually delete something?
I'm talking about the UI on the user end. If people are able to, like, let's say, to sit in Twitter Spaces anonymously rather than logged in, like on that, like one other listener spot, then they feel like they have like a tiny bit of the power that Twitter does in terms of having information at your fingertips.
I think you've got. I think you've got. I don't know if it's okay to say. Like, some people have privacy features activated that are like.
I should do more of those. Yeah.
Well, my block list, my mute list, empty. I've never used either one because why would Twitter? Here's something I've caught Twitter doing. If 10 people block the same UID, like the same user, and in that same general area of time, that person changes their @, they will send emails to those 10 saying, "Thank you for your service. We banned them. They are gone." Why wouldn't they? Of course they do that.
That's for the Book of Shadows. That's that kind of shit.
It is written, I think, 2018 Book of Shadows, yeah. Not something I normally would say, but, like, usually now it is that nobody listens to me anyways. Like, I can say anything here. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. The best thing I think about it, I don't have enough alcohol right now. I don't know.
That usually helps. I have a reading recommendation if you guys want for another time. But anyway, By Its Liberation of Form, right?
Wait, what is it? Say again?
By its liberation of form, line, color, and aesthetic notions. Am I in the right place?
I don't know that. I'm gonna look at that.
I thought that's where you were. I just don't get why Twitter people are like all up on each other, checking. That's the problem with social media. Man.
It's like okay, like a quote unquote crack den. You know, like these are seek reward loops, and they're super effective. Like in a century, like in a world where like this species exists in a century, how would they look at this epidemic of drug addiction that we don't identify as drug? Like, this is obviously a seek reward loop. Like, do people who take heroin intravenously know what it's doing, or do they know just exactly as much as people who try to make money on NFT know about fungibility on either scale, or the blockchain, or the DeFi space? It's exactly the same. We are right now on drugs.
Yeah, we're in the eye of the storm.
And we're destroying the earth with the plastic and the bags.
What, like comparative to climate change or whatever? Or
No, just
We're
not
not allowed
necessarily
to
even that
about climate
sense.
change because
Just
of cryptocurrency causing the bulk of it.
You
it gets
said
caught in their necks and they suffocate like
Oh,
wildlife.
I love cut necks. Like, I wish someone would just burst through my door while I'm asleep, you know? And just, I sleep with a Ginzo knife anyway. Like, it's always, literally, it's right up against my. I've been doing this for 6 months. All anyone has to do is just tug my arm a little bit. It would look like a suicide. Would someone please help me a little?
no. Wait, I don't think that's what Rain was talking about. Is it?
No.
Oh, you weren't? Oh, cute little David Spade dimple thing, right? Or gross 2-year-old tantrum.
Fuck. I said no.
You were talking about plastic bags, I think.
I
Yeah, I'll
love
talk.
plastic bags.
In the
But you remember in
ocean.
American Beauty? Like how that, not in
It's the
American
most
Beauty,
beautiful thing.
in
Yeah.
America, like I found a bag and I just put it over my head. But then some asshole took it off.
Yeah.
Is how well your strategy of like, let me go like real dark because I'm the darkest.
How'd that work
No,
for you?
you're
Did
not.
it work out
You don't know
well?
what it is to be a war refugee, do you? Yeah.
Well, I'm a
You know
prisoner.
what I really love about my Ginza knife that I sleep with for 6 months? Literally, it's not a metaphor. I'm sure it is a metaphor somehow, but I don't get to access that. I'm too fucking broken. Yeah, I think that's enough.
I don't want to argue, please.
Me neither. It is often said that the West's great undertaking is the commercialization of the whole world. I want to do that as the whole fucking world. The hitching of the fate of everything to the fate of the commodity. The great undertaking will turn out rather to have been the aestheticization of the whole world, its cosmopolitan spectacularization, its transformation into images, its semiological organization. What we are witnessing beyond the materialist rule of the commodity is a semio-urgy of everything by means of advertising, the media, or images, no matter how marginal or banal, or even obscene it may be. Everything is subject to aestheticization, culturalization, museumification. Everything is said, everything is exposed, everything acquires the force or the manner of a sign. The system runs less on the surplus value of the commodity than on the aesthetic surplus value of the sign. Breaking from that, where this is going to go, of course, is neo-structuralism. Again, a sign points to literally anything and exactly anything and exactly everything except and exactly except whatever its label is. Right? I mean, I don't think this should be controversial. Well, of course I don't. Never mind.
I'd like to let somebody else talk.
Else from me?
That was from me because I didn't want to hog up the mic, so I was trying to let somebody else answer. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Talking to Stace.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, anybody.
There's much talk of dematerialization of art, as evidenced, supposedly, by minimalism, conceptual art, ephemeral art, anti-art, and a whole aesthetic of transparency, disappearance, and disembodiment. Let's go visit Elon's paper.
I think how you left on that right there, and then wanted to visit.
One important feature of the capsule is the onboard compressor, which serves two purposes. This system allows the capsule to traverse the relatively narrow tube with choking flow that travels between the capsule and the tube walls, parenthetical, resulting in a buildup of air mass in front of the capsule and increasing the drag, end parenthetical, by compressing air that is bypassed through the capsule. It also supplies air to air bearings that support the weight of the capsule throughout the journey. Back to sanity. A dizzying eclecticism, when something's eclectic and also a noun, of form. A dizzying eclecticism of form, a dizzying eclecticism of pleasure. Such already was the agenda of the Baroque. For the Baroque, however, the vortex, or spiral, I guess, of artifice has a fleshy aspect. Like the practitioners of the Baroque, we too are irrepressible creators of images, but secretly, we are iconoclasts. Not in the sense that we destroy images, but in the sense that we manufacture a profusion of images in which there is nothing to see.
That's some lambda right there.
This dot, this comma.
You understand the asymmetrical rise of images?
The asymmetrical rise of symmetrical images, even.
Yeah. That's why it's italicized.
Into a spiral.
So I had to stop there, like, in which there is nothing to see. Like, how do you read that and not just break it? Like, fuck
the vacuum effect on the text.
The potency of notion, just the poignancy of that, like, yeah, it's so accurate. And when is this written? I think 90 something.
I think even older than that. I think
It might
he's
be
written a lot. Yeah,
he's recently dead. Like, I think he read his last thing in 2014. And tell me if you can see. Tell me what it's called, because I'm pretty sure it actually is like hyper something. I don't remember right now though. I just remember that the format for a while was this and that, or like the evil, or the complacency of evil, like the treachery of, sorry, not the treachery of images. That was a long ass time ago, and this is a knife.
Well, it's 1990. But yeah, essays on extreme phenomena.
Is that Transesthetics or after the orgy? Like, is that this text? There's so many names.
Oh, that's the full text. After the orgy is part 1. Transparency of evil, essays on extreme phenomena. Part 1 is after the orgy. I don't see content. Some of the pages aren't here though.
Right. So you can find them very easily at Archive. Just look up. If you look at the author, everything that they've written is on Archive.
Yeah, no, I have some of this dude's stuff on hard drive somewhere. I'm familiar.
Yeah, I have local copies too. I forgot though. Why am I wasting the bandwidth of myself in the way back?
I don't know. I felt bad. I dropped. It's not really a Twitter-like thing to do, but you were talking about something about aliens in a space one day, so I dropped a short 12-page PDF link about these people that were having like a pretend seance, having contact with aliens. And I felt bad for dropping that in people's like Twitter posts. But there's like random PDFs like so easily accessible. Like I have the book. It's like that's why I was like talking shit on that book club, is because like I have a book and I'm suggesting to people to read what I've read. That doesn't mean anything based on what you were saying, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, but that's really like what the after the orgy is like. Book clubs are places where you go to talk about what you've already read, like not with the people in the club, but like, well, I already read this, so like you guys should read this. Like I'm gonna suggest it.
Should we start talking about Jeff? I thought we were talking about Elon. Should we start talking about Jeff now too? Because he started a book club.
The president?
No, Bezos. Yeah, the President Bezos.
Thank you. Yes, the president of the government. Yes, Jeff Bezos
started a bookstore with. Didn't even give a fuck about books. It's just because they were the most easiest thing to track units of and how to measure quantitatively.
Like, I don't have to like. We don't have to talk about this. Like we don't have to even say
Is it really that easy to track units of
ISBN, Stace? You've got a fucking ISBN like on everything. Or worse yet, you've got an ISBN to cross-reference with an IMEI with a MAC address.
Here's the thing. I'm old enough to remember the Dewey Decimal System. You ever been to a library and had to look some shit up on an index card? Find the book in the...
No, how does that work? Please tell me
what
how
happens
a library
when you walk
works.
into the library, right? And there's a fucking goddamn box of index cards, and they're alphabetized. And you look at the subject or the whatever, and then it gives you a number, and then you look at the number.
I always prefer
Wait, no, I'm talking
Vorax
about
system
number.
to Dewey's,
ISBN?
but like Dewey's caught on.
Dude, that's
No, there
I
was
think
that's
it's your
different.
point.
So you walk in and you figure out the numbers, right? And then you follow the numbers, and it tells you, oh, you want that? Here, go here.
So it's
And
an
then
index.
you find this, and then you read about
It's
it.
it's a filing system.
But the cool thing, though, Zoe,
It's an
is
index, right?
you could even
It's
yes.
not an index.
So
It's
you
an
know who
index.
James?
Yes.
You know who James
The cool thing,
Dewey
though, is you could just fucking roam the aisles once you figured out the categories.
Run!
And then if you remember the cartoon,
Whee! Okay, I'm gonna take a walk. I got the kids vegetarian burritos. I'm gonna go pick up the Wii so they can play Minecraft.
I remember those too.
I'll be chilling and listening. Love y'all.
Just okay.
Everybody
I'm gonna get you a Bluetooth for Christmas. Yo, remember the cartoons with Huey, Dewey, and Louie? Remember that? I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the.
Darkwing Duck, and there was the other one with the wheel. He had like the wheel. He was like a robot cyborg.
Darkwing Duck? Are you serious? You're talking about Darkwing Duck and then the bad duck. Are you fucking kidding me right now? We just talked about cool libraries.
Kimberly, pink Power Ranger.
Oh,
is it weird that I
Blossom.
know something that specific from that time?
Nope.
And
not that specific.
I'm thinking Powerpuff Girls.
Donatello was the I'm kidding. Obviously, Michelangelo. Like, he could handle his pizza.
You're playing with fact shit, bro.
Raphael was cool, but
Be a real man.
And then Donatello had the purple.
Yeah, Michelangelo had the orange, which I just found sexy as hell because what left in society is orange? Traffic cones, crackers that you shouldn't eat. That's it.
Selling oranges by the freeway.
Oranges on the freeway, thank you. It's definitely on the freeway, whether you're supposed to run into it or not.
What about a sunset sky?
It's not that kind of orange. I'm talking about the sacral plexus. Like, the second chakra, that is phased the fuck out of society. There's no sex allowed, only shame.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know. You want to fuck about it?
Sure.
Well, isn't it weird that, like, want to fuck about it isn't a common expression?
It should be. It just sounds good.
Thank you. I agree. Let's fucking make it one. I mean, let's fucking make it one.
Yeah. Well, fuck me is an expression. Like, that's a good one, right? Like, fuck me.
That's constantly, but, like, it doesn't seem to get any cocks in my...
That's for aliens, though, isn't it? Like, oh god, fuck me. That's when you're ready to be taken away.
No. It's usually
the alien sign is yellow, and it's like the same shape as a yield, and it just looks like, wait, is that like a bunch of human beings like trying to cross the freeway?
Yeah, but orange has a higher
out
glow.
if that happens again.
I don't know why the yellow has a more dominant shade, doesn't it? Typically show up.
Well, if it's fluorescent too, like fluorescent or neon green, yellow.
Yeah, but where's the orange?
Fluorescent pink's nice too. You can make
they're all nice. They're all nice, but orange
if I say
doesn't.
Fluorescent pink, is anyone not thinking of a bird?
I just don't like those pastels. Those are for pussies.
Oh, think about the colored pencil, like fluorescent pink.
I just now realized that Front Run might have said something derogatory. I don't remember what it was, but I just know I took it the opposite from what.
Thank you, because it was meant to be a joke. But yes, pastels are very nice. In fact.
What's a joke?
God damn it! I cannot explain all of human interaction to you just this moment. But
should I read more from Hyperloop?
Yeah, if it gives you,
I've never read it until it is by far the worst thing I've ever. I cannot do any more of it. It's
you
so
should you know what you should do, a brilliant idea. Have two texts out during a space, Baudrillard and Hyperloop, and depending on the vibe, read
That's literally what I've been doing this whole time.
Yes, what? Beautiful. Yes, okay, good. Sorry for calling out the obvious.
Well, it's gotten less obvious because I can only read one sentence of Hyperloop by now. Like earlier, I read the pre technical spec. I also added. Wait, did it ever post? Hold on, let me look.
I'm looking also. I don't see. I saw highlighters, fluorescent.
It'll be in the next just a second, and also I just retweeted it, so I hope. It says at Elon Musk, you are a fraud, etc. You get it.
Bing.
And it's figure 1 from the technical spec. It's absolute nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean to mean anything. He's an asshole.
How did he write? Well, you said it was like 28 pages long or something, right? Over this thing?
58.
It's weird.
But he just keeps saying the same thing over and over again. He keeps saying
I like the thing. Tweet and your tweet. I with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, you stopped yourself short just when it got good.
That's actually the title of my second sex tape.
Nice.
I don't know about the third.
I think it's called I Left My Coke in the Car, but I Will Be Right Back.
Okay.
It's a 3-part saga.
It's funny and disappointing at the same time.
It's both. 3-part saga. It's funny. Fuck you. Fuck you. Also, clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Be right back.
Okay. So, how you doing, MC?
I'm good. I'm going to a play tonight, community theater.
Awesome.
Yeah, my mom's in it. That's why I'm going.
We got one here in Danville, Kentucky. It's pretty cool. I also enjoyed the ones in Busch Gardens, outside Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. They had some pretty good, cool ones, like ones that you could interact with and stuff, like the magician one.
Okay. Yeah. God, I forget the name of this one that my mom's in, but it's It's a comedy. I don't remember.
So is it like?
No.
Is it like theater?
It's
like
not. I doubt it's something anybody's ever heard of because I hadn't heard of it either. But
okay, so it's like
it's
where
not
people
Tennessee
acted out.
or anything. It's modern play.
Okay, gotcha. Hence the play. Have you ever tried script writing?
No, not really. I mean, I've wrote stories and stuff, but not really a screenplay or scripts. But I've been in a bunch of plays when I was younger, and I did like tech work, light board, soundboards and stuff.
I wrote one on peanut butter fudge and about how a guy gets out of prison and he used to be a drug dealer, so he started making peanut butter fudge and like he had some like his old clientele come up and try to get cop score or whatever, and he was like, "No, I'm selling these peanut butter fudge now," and like trying to use stamps as currency because he's stationalized and is having trouble like breaking a dollar. And then yeah, there was like it didn't turn like love affair and like collision between Jen. It was what was her name? Jen. I can't remember the other ones. I also wrote one, Maximus Aurelius, and there was another one I can't remember. It was like his ego. It was like a ghost though or something. And I was sitting at a bar and like he was just like going over like his accomplishments. I even made a bad reference joke. I said they even named you're so bold they named you after your own barbecue sauce. I don't know. I forget what I said. It was kind of corny, I'm sure. How are you doing, Ski?
Oh my god. Hi.
Looking good.
Totes. Yeah. 2 years.
Sweet. Sounds awesome.
Memento Mori happens to be the title of a song by a stupid band that I like called The Streets. Another song of theirs, which may be on the same record or may not be. I don't remember the name of one of their good records, and then another good record right after it is called The Hardest Way to Make an Easy Living. I think on that one, there's around 5 or 6, something called Can't Con an Honest John. Oh, I'll put it in the nest because it's so incredibly irrelevant but fun.
Awesome.
You want to hear how many? You want to hear how many results I got on Apple Music? Just songs.
Yes, of course.
I never heard of any of these. Lamb of God, Crywank, Octopus Montage, Architects. I think it's switching from songs to band. Black Widow, The Rhyme, Chandra Paul, Whistler. Now it's getting international. I can't read it. Oh my, the seeds of hatred. Psychedelic illumination. Morbid tears. Caravan of souls. All the language is like so, just like, yeah, no shit. The monolith. What do you? It's your space.
Check this out. Like, I noticed this recently. Language has to change. We have to change language. Why do we need to say both of those things? Yeah.
Well, obviously, we're the ones that change language. I just don't think they think about what they're saying, you know? Like,
I did. Like, when I wrote that joke,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely thought about all of it. You're taking it as if it's like a...
No,
like,
the question.
You go so far off your way. It's really not impressive.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a common. I think that's a prompt that's come up before. In like relation to the blockchain.
Well, frontrun's not. I mean, they'll know what blockchain means as slang, but like frontrun's definitely not in the guild. Like the.
No, I don't know what languages frontrun speaks, but like frontrun suggests that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think you got quite a few.
Conversational Klingon.
Conversational Klingon.
Yeah. I basically just know some phrases. I don't really know. I wouldn't get around to it. Sorry.
No, I was faking that. I don't speak Klingon. Not yet.
Oh my god, I got my parole. I gotta go back in for this. I got my parole papers, I think.
Is that a congratulations?
I was just gonna say, really, is that a good thing? Like, I just don't know.
I think so. And this is pretty cool. It's because it's been like since 2011 since I haven't been on, as they say, paper, which is like parole or probation. Mine's parole. Oh my
Even
god!
under review, so to speak.
Yeah, this is. Oh wow!
I
said.
I think we just killed the space now, right? Like,
I'm granted discharge from parole. That means I can go anywhere now. I don't.
That's dope.
That is dope.
That's
good for
awesome.
you,
celebrate.
dude. After 10 years almost.
Yeah, I feel a lot better now because I feel like I've been an asshole because of that, and I shouldn't like take it out on other people.
No.
Cool.
Don't even think. Yeah, forget about the past. You're finally over it. Where do you want to go first?
That's
the whole thing. They don't.
I wonder if I should go get me a soda or just some water or. I'm just trying to be good. I don't know.
It's so cute. It's like a David Spade, like, right? Like with dimples, but instead you're a 2-year-old, having doing the 2-year-old thing. Still,
I know. I know. Is that unattractive? Because I'll try not to do that anymore. I can't.
unattractive because I can continue to do that.
Oh my goodness! Don't do that to me. Okay.
I mean, I just want to tell you about it. Like, you asked me to tell you about blind spots. I asked you to tell me about blind spots. Like, I'm doing it.
Let's hear a Memento Mori song that you like.
Ooh. I didn't know they made them.
That's the other song by the same band. That's like you'll never can't con an honest John. It's really really fucking. I don't know how to explain it. Just it's something I used to really like. This band.
Should I play that now?
if you want to. Like,
I did.
Also, they're like, oh, dictator. That shit's not. Like, no, no, I'm not. Oh wait, this is MySpace? Never mind, it is.
It's Twitter.
I can't believe this. I'm literally freaking out. Like, I'm.
Yeah, we'll like getting a hyperloop arguing about that. What the fuck is a hyper? Did anyone figure out what a hyperloop is? It's a tube that's placed on pylons, and it's like fast when it needs to be fast.
What was he trying
Okay,
to
so
do?
literally at some point it said.
No,
so,
look.
Like, look at like where it says. This is what I want to find is at some point
Page 18,
it says
right?
like this thing will be -1% of. I don't even remember. So. Oh God. I feel like that was realistic. Oh God, I lost it. I fucking lost it. Oh, okay, page 4. Almost all the way down, right before making the economics work. That paragraph. This is where. How that paragraph ends. The linear electric motor is needed for as little as -1% of the tube length.
What on earth does that mean?
Nothing. It means nothing.
I have a perfect response. Where we left off in italics. Most present-day images, be they video images, paintings, products of the plastic arts, or audiovisual or synthesized images, are literally images in which there is nothing to see. They leave no trace, cast no shadow, and have no consequences. The only feeling one gets from such images is that behind each one there is something that has disappeared. It just keeps going. It's the same thing.
Over and over and over again. Right? And the images that are of modern day, they are of disappearance, if of any appearance at all, etc., etc., etc. One of these pieces is well written. One of these pieces, I don't know what the fuck it's talking to. Like hyperloop. What the fuck? Elon Musk doesn't belong in that pantheon. That's all.
That's awesome.
What if, now it makes sense, what if Elon is really a Martian trying to go home?
No.
Come on.
Okay. Come on,
Give it.
This is why
I can brainstorm.
Because we're getting to this. Icons made it possible to stop asking whether God existed, without, for all that, ceasing to believe in him. This is indeed the miraculous thing. Our images are like icons. They allow us to go on believing in art while eluding the question of its existence. So, perhaps we ought to treat all present-day art as a set of rituals, and for ritual use only. Perhaps we ought to consider art solely from an anthropological standpoint without reference to any aesthetic judgment whatsoever. The implication is that we have returned to the cultural stage of primitive societies. The speculative fetishism of the art market itself, of the ritual of art's transparency. You see,
the ritual is burning capital.
Yes, but by here, see, they're actually spinning, or like they're pivoting in a meta-modernist fashion, like
a pulsar.
Sure, yeah, like anything that oscillates, like a sine wave, a pulsar, sure, a spiral. Like next thing that said, we find ourselves in a realm of either ultra or infra aesthetics. It is pointless to try to endow our art with an aesthetic consistency or an aesthetic teleology. That would be like looking for the blue of the sky at the level of the infrared and ultraviolet rays. You see what it's doing? Like, they're like, please understand this. Please understand this. Please fucking understand. Please fucking understand. Here's another way to fucking understand this, please. Where Elon's like, I'm gonna make this train. It's fast because it's like a train, and it's like hyper. It's like really loopy and hyper. Fucking fraud him.
Okay, so Elon could be like a part of like the electric gods, and he could like he's from the like super current.
I'm sorry. Could you take that? Could you take Elon Musk's penis out of the mouth? Like.
Okay.
I swear it sounded like you just suggested that whatever Grimes or whatever his name is a god.
I was just going for like fan fiction. Sorry, I moved up there.
Hey, what's going on? I stepped on back now.
Right, but it doesn't work. Don't you get that?
I do.
So what's the play here? Are you working on the script?
Yeah.
Let's do fan fiction for something on the fly. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is.
Is that what you were just talking about?
I don't know. They're just. I think they're just trying to derail things and be a devious little trickster. Even though I haven't read Archetypes of the Collective Unconscious. Hee. So what are we doing fan fiction on then?
Somehow I ended up in photography space earlier, and now you're reading this, so it's kind of interesting. Because nobody seems to... It just still feels like a bunch of like early discovery of something called Web3 or something. Like, what is this blockchain? And honestly, I think Ethereum is about to go down, but it's too big to fail.
It's not.
It's not too big to fail?
I wrote something that explains this a little bit, to the best of my ability, because I don't know what's going on. Not really. But there's obviously a bubble, but it's different this time. Like, the changing world order thing that normally happens, like, how many seasons of Simpsons can you go back where they're like, yeah, we're the best country, for a couple more years, right? Like, how's China doing? They make those kinds of jokes, like, 20 years ago.
Right, but this isn't to say bailout too big to fail. This is saying, like, it's like the printing of itself. The snake keeps eating its own tail.
Right,
too
but
big to
is
fail.
Ethereum our reserve currency? Is it?
Not. What do you mean, our reserve? What do you mean?
The world has to have a reserve currency, like the currency that is the most trusted.
Yeah, currently like the dollar, the U.S. dollar.
Well, it's all backed off something else, like so. I mean, the whole like the greater whole's what makes the value currency. I feel like.
Right. So what are you saying? Like Ethereum.
Here are some thoughts on what. Like, here's just some pitches on what the actual reserve currency is right now. My best guess: brokerable data, like personal data that can be sold. I think that is like gold. Also, like obvious stuff like that. Debt is a very good one.
Yes. Credit.
Ethereum? Fuck no. Fuck the fuck no. I'm not buying any of that shit. No.
Yeah, but when you buy debt, it's in some sort of form, right? And that's the currency. So debt is the way the system runs. It runs off of debt by creating debt, but
no, this is just smart contracts.
I'm sorry. When you buy debt?
purchase debt, create debt, whatever you want to say when it
I
is
want to
created.
say spend money responsibly.
Well, that's what people should do. But that's the whole system works by creating debt, right? The Federal Reserve it creates money and then it loans it to the banks and whatever.
That's
that's
what
they gotta pay that back. So that's the debt.
That's what broke ass dads do too. They borrow money against the house and then they put it into something else and then they borrow money against that and then put it into something else and then they borrow money against a business and put it's like micro macro.
What? Why is it dads? Like everybody
like a
does
hyper macro. I mean, like a loop that's really fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like different size gears. That's why I use that example. That's what Elon does.
Mm-hmm. Do we want an edit button?
Now that's why when I'm talking about Ethereum, that's that's become compare that with like art. Ethereum art. Like currency becomes too abundant. Let's say in this case because of entrepreneurship and the hyperloop, that people are burning capital.
It's not entrepreneurship. It's feigned. It's like, well, here's my project, and like, so we start here, and then like middle, and then profit. That's everybody's project. Like,
right, it's a Steve Jobs.
Right now, we have to keep in mind that the United States dollar is inflated as fuck. So if Ethereum doesn't go way the fuck up, then it is going down.
Mm-hmm.
The price of gasoline has gone from what, like a reasonable $4 or something to what is it now, $6? So if Ethereum hasn't gone, gone up by 1/3 of its value in the same time, then it's gone down.
So, I mean, if anything, gasoline can be a resource that you can talk about it with. Because Ethereum, the smart contract, is the mechanism that makes it valuable.
No. It's the person who cares about the contract. The contract is it's a social standing tool to say, this is how much I'm willing to waste. That's what it's for. That's all it's for. It's also for not to read. Like, has anyone really seen a contract that doesn't have some shady, stupid tech in it that's meant to, like, have you not really own the contract? I haven't.
It's true.
Right. I always find in a lot of the prints, like even with legal systems, there's a lot of leeway that it gives just by the way it's worded.
If you're talking about the contracts, there's all kinds of different contracts. There's NFT contracts and DeFi applications and all kinds of weird ones.
I'm sorry, what is a DeFi application? Please enlighten me.
I don't know. A financial instrument is what they say. Like there's all kinds of stupid words, but
it's a
generalization DeFi is what I would say.
I call it a neologistic piece of bullshit. It's a neologism. DeFi, what?
Yeah.
The decentralized finance.
Finance,
DeFi.
Yeah. Most of them are like liquidity pools where you can they're exchanges that allow you to.
You can't liquidize any of this. Like,
you
that
lend.
is the real problem. That's why it's not worth it. Like, you reach a tipping point. There is a curve, like any curve, any learning curve. If you spend enough of your time playing with this toy, and Ether is essentially a Lego block. If you play with it enough, they're like, yeah, okay, take as much Lego blocks as you want. Like, you're not going to turn them into, like, what are you going to sell them? You're going to turn around and sell the Lego blocks for money? And then people stay there because they think, yeah, I'm going to make so much money. But they don't really think that. They just are addicted to playing with Legos.
If you go into it aware of what you're doing, that's the problem. Is most people it's misrepresented. It's like this is passive income.
Everybody's saying that right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's going through the same stages of denial and grief at the same time. The merge was success. The way that they displayed it at the top, the merge status, and then space, capital, successful. Like, what the fuck? How does nobody see this? That NFT NFT, 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 ENNEFFTEE, NFT, NFT, and it is a branding mechanism. The middle word is intentionally something you will never understand unless you study the entire field of macroeconomics, economics at large, and microeconomics. If you don't have the context of the field, you will only be able to, and most people won't go this far, understand fungibility in the sense of scientific popularization. That is something with no context around it, like, hey, this is what the number 3 is. That's the only number. You understand it now? If someone's a 3, then they're toxic, and you can cut them out of your life, that fucking asshole. I think I'm talking about narcissistic personality disorder right now. That's like the same thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have the context, then you think you understand something, or you want to anyway, because it's convenient. But do you actually know somebody who understands these contracts?
No, that's perfect. It's a bunch of mystified people trying to get to the core of what the answer of what is this thing, and nobody really understands the fungibility aspect of it. That's why they're not connecting in the way that a fungible network would form, or some are and some aren't. Let's say there's inclusivity, exclusivity, right? It should.
Yes. Uchisoto. In-group, out-group. Fungible. Non-fungible.
Front Run was talking about something about people being mimetic, or like when if they show crime.
Heterogeneous. There are 1,000 ways to say it. Whichever one is. Like,
yeah. I mean, no, yeah. Homogeneous. Like copycats though, like people, Catcher in the Rye, Sarah, like stupid shit like that, like influential culture.
I mean, you could have gone with Franny and Zoe, but sure, the Catcher in the Rye. Why go with Franny and Zoe?
What did Franny and Zoe ever do?
Well, Zoe spelled her name wrong. That's what I was trying to say.
I'm just saying that they never hurt anyone. Like they don't keep.
Sorry, literature references. The Catcher in the Rye before the Elon Musk thing was very similar to Stranger in a Strange Land. Just noticing.
Stranger in a Strange Land?
Yeah, where he's trying to get back to Mars. He's a Martian trying to get home. But
I love The Stranger. Are we talking Camus?
No, but there's another reference. Look at that. I had to decline the co-host. I have to leave soon, Zoe.
I can see. Becoming a responsible adult or something, Front Run?
I'm seeing my mom in the thing she's doing. So yeah.
That's fucking adult stuff.
I know.
I can take the co-host if you want.
Just call her up and say, "Listen, we're reading Hyperloop."
Yeah, this is more important.
I hate you. Bye, Mom.
and I hate you. Screw you, Mom. Thanks a lot.
To say that we're reading Hyperloop. Click.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Mom, I forgot. Like, that was ridiculous for me to not say I hate you.
Yeah, all the stupid genetics I got from you, like that's your fault, and Dad, I suppose. But come on, all these problems belong to you.
You're right. Just it's that easy. I mean, really, give it a try. It might work.
I do have an understanding of what the word fungible means, as far as in currency sense, at least. But not everybody does. But not everybody knows. Like, people go to the gas station, they buy a bag of chips with a $10 bill or whatever. They don't know where that $10 bill comes from. They don't have to know that it works, right?
It doesn't work. What? That promise was rescinded in what? I don't even remember.
They don't have to know the concepts of value and how the money is created and supply and demand in order to know how money works.
There's no standard. I mean,
right. That's why that is the promise of the blockchain and cryptocurrency, is to be better than the fiat currency. But obviously, there's issues there. I'm not saying that's.
Fiat is it like? Does anybody wake up in the morning thinking, "God, I wonder what Bitcoin is worth in terms of Bitcoin today"? No.
They always think in terms of what they're used to, right? Whether it's the euro, the dollar, or whatever.
They think in terms of real money.
But it's only real because we say it's real, right? It has the same issues that any other money has.
No, it's not only real because we say it's real.
Once, without consumer confidence or whatever, then it collapses. It does not exist unless we say it has value. We only.
Oh my god!
Our government,
a decentralized currency will never work. It has to be centralized because people will not use it. People will abuse money. How fucking obvious is that? This is so stupid that I like. Why am I watching this happen? Like, of course we'll abuse money if we think we can get away with it.
Yes, but the issue is when it's a currency issued by a government, they have full control over it. When a decentralized is controlled by the people.
I love the idea of Amazon gift cards. They're the same thing as NFTs.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it's all about what we decide is valuable. It becomes valuable. That's it.
It's not.
That's for everything.
Amazon would become valuable? Do you decide which stocks become valuable? Do you decide on
turkey
futures becoming valuable?
En masse, people do. Yeah, it's not one. It's groups of people getting together and deciding something's valuable.
Reality by consensus, maybe.
Basically,
but there's also just sometimes there's a shortage of birds, and then they get the flu, or sometimes there's a shortage of sesame seeds or some kind of fruit. Like there are so many forces that people do not control. To say that it's all reality by consensus, no, it's not. And
it gets manipulated.
I guess I'm sorry, but ethers merge there. Which, by the way, did they move from proof of stake to proof of work, or the other way around?
The other way around.
Ask everybody that. See if they know. They don't.
Yeah, of course. That kind of gets to my point of the buying the bag of chips with the, they don't need to know what works.
But
they don't need to care. All they need to care is what the vendor accepts.
Yeah. Most people will not care, but some people will.
Who here has made money on crypto?
If you'd asked me a few months ago, I would have said
I'm not asking you a few months ago, am I?
Again, not me.
If you had asked me when I had made money on it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's funny. Okay.
Yeah. These are great questions, right? Who here is using crypto? Don't answer this. But these are good questions for any space that's hey guys, I'm here to support the Web3 space. Much love to Elon, and I thank you guys for keeping it 100 in the community.
Drop some alpha. We're gonna drop some alpha tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna pump that real hard. You guys can join our Discord and our Harmony and our Matrix server. Or you can find us on Libera. We're on the SDF over here. We got Brex going. We're opening up a Tildaverse server so people can have free.
Good lord, this is an obscure one. Most of them don't go that far.
I'm talking about things that are real. That's why it's obscure. The SDF. Yes, we make free shell accounts. We do that. People pay money to support this 501c3. It's not some, hey guys, project. It's a real thing. I guess I'm sorry that people have this fictional currency that they don't recognize as a CYOA.
Cover your ass?
Thank you. That was the two.
So listen to this though. I was in that art space earlier that I was talking about, and I was trying to explain this to them in terms of art, how the art market is gamified, because they're complaining about what's this 10K project bullshit, and everything feels like it's video game or levels to it and burnt applications, and I'm like, you don't see that in the art world as well. So the best I could try to hone it in was an artist dies, they can no longer produce any more work, the supply is constricted, the asset is deflationary. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Deflation. Yeah. Wouldn't it be inflationary? Because usually if they're a famous artist, when they die, the work becomes more expensive.
It's the other way around.
Don't underestimate the facetious nature of the whole thing. Is you can't tell these people the truth. Like, they don't listen to, like, where is the art space, Frontman? Like, am I part of it?
Agreed. I mean,
it would be really weird to suggest that I'm not.
Right, but
fuck crypto coins if it hurts artists.
The art world is a haven for money laundering.
But see, that's heresy to the art world, because it's not the art world; it's the commerce.
They don't want to admit that. Yeah, I mean, but it's already gamified before technology came and added to it.
No, stop. What? No, this is new.
It is new. I'm saying the corruption and nonsense.
There were already IPs before there were A's, right? They were in the wait. Where were those in purchase? The in purchase, right? They weren't before apps. In app purchase.
I think we're talking about different things here.
I don't think we are. I think we're talking about whether technology is responsible for gamification.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Everything is very much the same.
Okay, well, the corruption and the stuff that that you're complaining about, it seems like
Battle Royale
already existed.
Okay. Battle Royale.
It came along with the cryptocurrency, but that's just a part of human nature, right? Like it would have come along with anything else, like it does.
So it's supposed to eliminate the human nature aspect.
It's supposed to eliminate the single point of failure, I guess, the decentralized system does, but it certainly doesn't.
It's about this. Let's get younger, dumber consumers. We want younger kids. We want kids who don't fucking know, won't remember, and have access to their parents' stupid credit cards. Welcome to Web 3. And I'm not talking about the actual Web 3 that was planned for semantic web. I'm talking about a fictionalized, stupid fucking Elon Musk world where instead of saying anything true, we talk about a train for 56 pages.
Dogecoin. You can actually buy products for Doge on Tesla website right now.
Can you? Oh my god, of course you can. Fucking hell.
I'm not kidding. This is the thing, like in the beginning of that HBO show about the tech kids and how it looks like Silicon Valley, looks like Sim City, and it's the kids with the games that you grow up on. Eventually, you're going to identify those. And I'm not talking about childhood trauma. I'm talking about like childhood bonding, where you just remember that cartoon. Yeah, me too. Remember that cereal. Yeah, me too. And adults can be playful.
But what they're really into is, remember that, I hated that one. Me too. That's what they really use now, and it's not sustainable.
Everything's a commodity. The Dogecoin is a Pogs.
I'm a commodity.
Hey, remember Alf Pogs?
Yeah, I remember them.
That was the Simpsons.
I remember Dogecoin. Do you guys remember when it went from under like a 60th of a cent to suddenly being like 67 cents? Like, that was a crazy weekend. I made so much money. But nobody says, also I lost all of it because I was hodling it. Remember hodling?
It was more diamond handing, aping.
I don't.
I don't know. I
don't get dividends. I mean, there's a lot of benefits from that as well.
Dividends in the crypto coin market?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. We went on track here. I'm sorry. That was. Please let me reset.
They call them reflections.
I found it interesting. You should find this interesting. Front Run is, for some reason, the other day I got some news feed things about railroaders going on strike.
Yep. My old company, the UP, is one of them.
That's never happened. It can't happen. Therefore, you should be able to read into that headline if you've ever worked for the railroad.
Of course, it can happen. They made it illegal. They made it illegal.
It cannot, by presidential order.
Right. They made it illegal. That doesn't mean it can't happen.
It does mean it can't happen.
What do you mean? Drugs are illegal.
Just use
but that
high
doesn't
order
mean
logic
people don't use
and then
drugs.
first order logic at the end of it.
If the union decides to strike and not go to work, what do you call it? I guess you don't call it a strike, but what is it?
If?
Yeah.
Are you starting your logical proof with if?
You're saying it can't happen. I'm saying, of course it can.
It's never happened. It will never happen.
Well, what do you call it when people stop working?
How long? Well, you were with the railroad for long enough to know what the Railway Labor Act is, right?
Yes, I do.
And you never heard, like, did you go to any of those congressional level meetings?
Let's pretend that we're
not congressional.
That we're unionized on the railroad. And
union congression.
What is our motivation to do this?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. From there,
exactly.
That's the high order. Like, what is our motivation to go on strike?
You have to understand the hierarchy. Like,
of course,
labor,
the company into coming to an agreement that's equitable for the.
If they get a whiff of union, they will fire people and hire more because there aren't jobs.
They cannot do that in the railroad industry.
They can.
It takes a certain amount of training. They can't. There will be a period of which they will not be able to run trains. And during that period, hold on,
jobs because they're paid enough. People aren't good. People don't do the right thing with money. They're not getting paid in fiat. I mean, what do you guys call Ethereum?
Collective bargaining.
Collective bargaining. They get a whiff of it. Like, you cannot have the conductor of the train working in league, in union with the maintenance staff. They won't let it happen.
Well, that's why they have different
unions.
There's
simple hierarchy there.
It's called divide and conquer.
Exactly, but they can still go on strike. Like, it can still stop the railroad from running trains for a certain period of time.
This is the language.
No,
that has happened before. That happened in the 70s. It happened in the 80s.
On the railroad?
Yes. I talked to guys.
Strike? What?
It did not happen to the degree that you believe. That the way the headlines put it to the public is not what happened. I know, like, I worked with guys that were like, I went on strike in '94. We were out there with signs. The president will order them back to work. It doesn't last more than 48 hours at best, and it happens on the weekend.
They don't have to agree to they don't have to go back to work. That's still a choice. And then they have to risk being arrested, but that is part of being in the union.
Consider if they risk, what happens if they don't go back to work. They will be replaced by another union. It will still be a closed shop, just no longer.
It's always a closed shop. Yeah, that's not going to change. But they can stop the railroad from moving trains for a certain period of time. It takes at least a month to get brand new people trained to run trains.
Hold on, slowly, because Zoe's got a good point. And then what happens?
And then maybe they replace. But
no. Be direct. Be direct.
I don't know. That hasn't happened.
All right, I don't know.
Usually, the company will acquiesce to whatever demand.
Yes, it has happened. The government has shut down before, and it got replaced by Amazon. Now, the government is still called the United States government, but come on. Do you notice if they're shut down, or do you notice if your shit doesn't get there? If you don't have your Amazon, that's the government now. How are we not seeing this?
Again, we're talking about different things. The strikes that have happened in the past
we're not, and like that's
have been effective to help get the demands met of the people mostly. I mean, you never get everything you want.
Demands. Not really. They're like
better healthcare, higher pay.
We're unhappy. It's like, you're alive, you mean? Yeah.
That's not usually one of the demands. Make us happy.
No. It's not make us happy. It's we're unhappy.
That's a statement.
I know.
Okay.
So does the hierarchy.
If we're gonna go here with Hyperborea, with the railroad shit and the strike talk, it's gonna turn into a town hall. So I can just say like one word right now is wheat, and think about how many people are affected.
God, everyone who doesn't have celiacs.
But talk about fungibility. Look at that. Look at that trace of land where.
Oh, and people with celiacs.
What do you mean by that? I'm lost on that.
People affected by wheat.
I got you. I got you.
People with celiacs and without celiacs.
I'm all good with your glucose problem. That sounds like a first world issue.
It does. It sounds so much like it.
But these guys all the way up north in the colder territory with things that go boom are affecting the bread supply.
Stopped growing. Then the jobs left. Then the black people looked poor.
And the rain kept coming, but no crops were growing.
But the soil, well, she don't keep too many secrets.
Gary Gensler, right now is the Howey test and the Great Depression. What was it? The fucking era, the Dust Bowl era
is happening again.
We're gonna come back to the Dust Bowl era and Howey testing.
No, we're not.
Shoot this fucking plate, and it represents. I don't know. I shoot guns, like vote and shit. I don't know. Do some shit and give me money.
See, that's why the railroad conversation is so pertinent.
This is your. Yeah, well, here you go. We're not in a recession because we changed the metrics of what we call a recession. So obviously we're not in a recession anymore, right?
Right.
I mean, this is what you're saying with
changes. Language changes. That's what we were talking about.
But obviously we are in a recession. They can change whatever the fuck they want if it doesn't make it true.
Should I change the title of the space to something more apropos?
Yeah, precession. Saturday precession.
The planets precession. The precession of the planets.
The bread line is the precession.
Okay, I haven't seen any actual bread lines where I live, but maybe they're where you're at.
Well, that's why I'm talking about think about the area of people affected by wheat and their railroads.
Yeah.
I think their railroads being like where the wheat is not even available to supply and it's being trickled down to where people that were already hungry in northern Africa because they were relying on that wheat supply are now being affected by a greater shortage.
It did sound like a first problem.
Yeah, but what is so like the railroad workers work in unsatisfactory conditions because of wheat? Because it affects other people.
Jeff Bezos. The model is from Jeff Bezos'.
I'm trying to understand your point. That's all. I'm just trying to understand.
The point is let's not be myopic about it. The trains that used to come through with cargo no longer carry them. Just like trains that used to bring lumber from British Vancouver, Canada, but are now all burnt down, don't have lumber to ship anymore. These are geographical effects that people don't understand affect them downstream. And for the government, like the U.S. dollar, to be the gold standard, while the world is affected by power outages and bread shortages and who knows what the fuck else, and these powers of are way bigger than any. Petrol,
right, because if you have it, it got there in a train, right?
Mm-hmm. That's another one.
That's how the old expression goes. If you have it, it got there in a train or a truck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, most fuel is done by pipelines, but you're right about the other stuff. Yeah, but that's still all shipped. The intermodal shipments from China, they get to the port of LA or Oregon or whatever, and then they go across, going east, and then the empties go back to China. I mean, I
just keep hearing support of Amazon. No,
that's all
Amazon doesn't rely on trains, do they? If you can't shut down Amazon, you can't strike.
They absolutely rely on some rail to carry it a long distance, and then it goes in trucks after that. Yeah.
Have you thought about every time you hear about Amazon on the news being think about your post-traumatic stress from the railroad? Do you think about the way Amazon treats their people first railroad?
I don't know if we should call them people while in a Twitter space.
But do you know what I'm saying? It's they're trying to rewrite the book before the rules get written.
Well, there's there's been a bunch of public fights for distribution centers to unionize, and then Amazon throws a ton of money at it to stop that.
I know. It's so much. It's good news fodder. They love it, and sometimes they outvote and don't want the union on the property.
unions have their own problems. I'm not a huge fan of unions. I was in one, you know.
I agree. Yeah, they're garbage, dude. This whole thing is garbage. But I'm telling you, when the railroaders go on strike, and it never makes
48
national
would be
news.
so long. Like, like 2 hours would shock me. And I don't mean to be curt or glib about it. I'm just so tired of seeing hyperloops, you know?
I don't like to get into the topic, but like, I just couldn't believe the way it happened, like, after certain topics were covered, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, look who's on strike, and I couldn't believe it. That's one of those, like, we need some media hype right now.
Well, you're right about the media not wanting to cover these stories, especially the build up to them. But then once it happens, then they almost have no choice but to cover it because people see it. The railroad going on strike affects the economy, supply chain, all that shit. So there's no way they can just cover that up at that point.
I have just a weird point. Daruma-san fell down. Daruma-san fell down. Daruma-san fell down. You do have to say it 3 times. For a while, my PFP wasn't me as Daruma-san. It was just one eye. Because if I was looking at it... Aye, Daruma-san. That is the first thing she says, too, in the morning. Really, it reminded me, like, if I'm looking at that, then I need to stop. Because Twitter could have one of my eyeballs, but not both. I didn't understand what kind of seek reward loop I was getting myself into, obviously. It's always impossible to see what's behind you.
I've got eyes in the back of my head. Did you not know that?
I knew that, but you're a fucking superhero. I'm just a Zoe.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
Thank you. That was a good one.
Hi, sir. I gotta go.
I am. See you okay?
I'm good. I gotta go see my mom, but it was nice.
Have a lovely time.
Well, thank you.
Tell her I said I want to fuck. I don't know. Like, oh my god.
What did you just say?
You want to fuck his mom?
No, it was a reference to earlier.
What you just... Yeah, Ralph, I heard the same as you.
No, that is what I said, but earlier we're talking of terrible things that he could say to his mother on the phone. I was in process of making fun of him for, like, becoming a responsible adult.
He's become a responsible adult.
I think so. I mean, I don't mean to talk down about people.
Why has he become a responsible adult all of a sudden?
I don't know. Like, maybe you can help.
How am I gonna help?
Fuck his mom.
Oh, Zoe.
Such a cheap, like, what? I don't know. I think I might be tired. I don't know.
I think you might be to come out with a comment like that. It's a bit gross.
Is Durama-san, like, always with you? Is that what happens?
If you don't cut her loose by midnight, then yeah. It's, I mean, you see what it's for. It's not like some ghost thing. That's just how it's presented. Like, you really will see the thing, of course. It will be there.
You turn into a pumpkin.
No, really, like, try it. Like, this is really what it's about. It's like everyone will make fun of it, but no one will do it. And why won't anyone do it?
Why won't they do it?
Why won't have you?
Because it seems scary, and it is scary. Because if you do play Daruma-san, you'll go through an experience that will put you in a group of people who have done this. People who are so fucking, like, bored with this. Sorry, what is this called? Hyperloop. That it's like, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, of course I can simulate something behind me in a bathtub. Of course it makes it more solid if I don't drain the tub and close the door and go to sleep, right? Yeah, because all of that's really weird. That will affect my subconscious. But we don't have to talk about it that much. You just make it ornamented as a pretty ghost story. It's just more fun that way. It really will fuck you up if you don't play it correctly. But it's really about becoming constantly aware that you're not able to see what's behind you. That's it. That's the only thing that I really know. And it changes everything. Well, yeah, but you can.
Are you a mother? Are you a mother?
Of all, she's literally the I didn't mean to speak for you.
I'm not a mother, Ralph. No, I'm not a mummy.
Daruma-san.
Oh, it's just your accent then that has that nurturing vibe.
Oh, thank you.
To me, it does.
I've never noticed it.
I don't know. Well, depends on what your native tongue is.
Notice how I'm not hitting on. Oh God, that's too close. Just a second.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Why are you? Go on, Ralph. Sorry.
No, you had a question. Why are you what?
Why? I don't know why she's talking about Elon Musk. What? In your title.
Well,
who?
I started this place by reading the first what was it,
Hyperloop?
6 pages of Hyperloop, the paper by Elon Musk. It's terrible. It's so stupid. It's difficult to read.
Oh.
Do I need to clarify there? When I say difficult to read, I mean painfully stupid.
Oh dear.
So then, of course, we switched over to the transparency of evil, or what was it? Yeah. I was just putting them next to each other and telling Elon Musk by tweet that he's a, he's a fraud. You're a fraud, Elon Musk. You get it.
Okay.
We're just, you're engagement farming because he'll come in the room if his name is in the title, right?
I think I'm hoping, the part of me that wants to be healthy, and I apologize for that.
He won't come in the room.
He won't. I know, but I kind of hope that they'll just ban me from this crazily addictive platform.
I hope not.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Why would he ban you?
They wouldn't. They can't by now. I'm constantly doing the thing that they're constantly checking my profile to figure out which character exploit is gonna fuck us forever. And then I just do the same thing again in a different way, and they keep going. And every time it happens, they elevate the privileges of my 3 Twitter apps. It's such a crazy seek reward that they have it set up for whatever level of involvement you want.
That's hardcore.
What was the quote somebody earlier about the man who wants nothing can't be bought or something? I think that was you.
It was when Jesus was here. He said something about a camel.
I have a camel. Oh yeah, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is a rich man, or something like that.
That's right. Than a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven. That's right.
I asked this question though. What about the riches of the spirit, and how could that correlate?
I don't want a camel.
If I was in the desert, I probably would want one. Never know when you might need that camel.
I don't want a camel.
I don't want a camel either. It sounds like a huge responsibility.
Well, this would be interesting if you wanted me to get. I'm not going to get long-winded, but like the daughter of my son, when you're talking about it, I went and got some photos processed. I finally just picked them up today, and I don't take pictures like haphazardly, and plus, like I'm talking about prints, right? Like 35 millimeter. So like when I take pictures, like to me, like I try to be like they're spirits. You're capturing someone's essence, their aura, and there's way too many things. Like I think I lean to capture certain things, and then the accidents become not accidents at all, where there's like bright red or bright blue accents. And then again, I told you I was talking about like art earlier with those photo people, and like there was a whole talk about, well, when this one photographer, she was asking if she shoots in black and white and it's architecture, what is like people's reflex when there's no color? So when we take color out of an image, does that rewrite the narrative, and how? And it comes down to time. Everything is time. So
whatever it is by which space is made dynamic, I identify with that.
whatever it is with which space becomes dynamic.
Yes. If we have a piece of paper, we think, well, that's two-dimensional, but there's a paper-thin third dimension that makes it so a pen can slide across it. Whatever it is by which space is made dynamic, that paper-thin fourth dimension.
Well, like this Twitter space is being made dynamic because of the application of voice and
Not that,
receptor modules.
not that kind of. I mean, literally non-static. Like, if we take time away from space, then
I was trying to be funny, but I know
we're just frozen. We need time is to make space dynamic. We can move in space. That's time.
Like I don't like hyper images, hyperloops, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever.
I'm being a lot more literal than I usually am. Let's say there are 3 dimensions of space.
I know, but I'm talking
but if
about
there are and there's no time, then the space doesn't move. Because there aren't, like, the whole purpose of time, it's to make the space dynamic. We can move things, different states, that's the paper thin fourth dimension.
And are you at all trying to allude to arresting time or denying it?
I think towards denying it. There used to be it used to be that physics seemed to be evolving in a direction where I would be wrong. Like, ideas like, well, astronauts age not as much because they're like moving through more space. That's so dumb. Like now it's so obvious that that's dumb. Like how much space are we moving through? Oh, it doesn't count if the wait a minute, hold on. Wait, you know what? Let me get back to you. Like, time.
That's stupid. It's a misapplication of MC square, right?
But also, aren't we moving through space? Like, it's not like vacuum is space. Like, Earth is in space just as much as space is in Earth.
Right. The astronauts wouldn't be aging because it's like better air quality, aka gravity, or it's just because of distance traveled. What?
Are you trying to summon him, Zoe?
Era Musco?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm trying to tell him he's a fraud. You're a fraud, Elon. You get it. Yeah, Elon, you're a fucking fraud. That's it. I just don't think he's funny. That's it. Like, he thinks he's funny. He's not funny. That's it. You're not funny, Elon.
He's not funny.
Elon Musk,
yeah.
You are a fraud.
Definitely not funny.
Quit everything. Also, I would mention that we can all, at any point, call the NSPL at 988 in America, and you can check your local listings in other countries. But Elon, you're in America, so yeah. Fucking fraud.
Oh my god.
She's going for it tonight.
She definitely is going for Elon's jugular.
Why
I want to know for sure that there's nothing I can do to get that fucking fraud to just come out of the woodwork and say, yeah, we are definitely every time that you like make your profile pages of blank space, we add that into the way we evaluate code in Gecko and WebKit, and then you just do it again. Like, so we'll never ban you because I work for them. Like, we all do. We all work for them. We're doing this for free. We're what do you call it? Treadmilling the modal that is their transcriber. That's what we're doing, and promoting, the whole thing that these spaces were for, which is NFTs. The end of that, by the way, like, no discussion on that. Yes, spaces were to promote NFTs, and that's it.
So is that true? Should we start mumbling as much as possible?
It knows that. Like, it's so smart. It's almost as smart as Elon Musk, but it's nowhere near as smart as Grimes.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I would love for that fucking coward to come in here with his cool joint and Joe Rogan and shit. Like, cool. Why don't I read some of Hyperloop and then some of a real philosopher? It'll never happen. I'm their employee. I work for free.
That's what they do in schools, right? Like senior seminars, they'll be like, let me read your essay back to you, and you respond. Here we go. Chapter 1. Imagine that. Being critiqued by... I would pay to see that.
I honestly wouldn't wish reading Elon Musk's Hyperloop on anyone. It is by far the worst thing I've ever read. I'm not exaggerating. It was so painful to read. It has 6 pages of what is like referred to in itself as like the normal body of the work before it becomes the remainder of the 58 pages, the technical specification, and it just keeps saying, so there'll be like tubes, like it'll go fast, it'll be a train, like you can go anywhere. It's awesome. Really, that's all it says. Oh, and there's talk of it being on pylons.
Oh yeah, that's that reminded me of StarCraft. And you forgot about the compressed air with the reverse fan.
Yeah, then there's a place where like the length of one of the like parcels that's in the tube is literally, he says it's -1 times the space that the tube takes up. We read it over and over again. Like,
Oh yeah,
what the fuck are you saying? Like,
visual images right there when we were talking about that earlier.
But the point is, it's 5 to 6 pages of just what he's referring to as normal person. Nobody will even read that, let alone the whole document, which is nothing. The document just repeats itself over and over again. It's like, so there are 4 modes of transportation. there are these, and then there's an ordered list sometimes. Sometimes it's in a parenthetical. It just keeps going. Like, and I want to propose a fifth, and it'll be like a tube, and it's fast, and it goes on. Like, I don't think he's funny. That's all. You see, the joke is on all of us, right? Like, there's no way somebody's gonna read a 56-page paper. Yeah, there is. Fucking fraud. You fucking fraud, Elon Musk.
Shall we continue reading?
Anyway, I'm wondering what to get for dinner. What are you guys having?
I had beef jerky, so I'm good now.
I had mine ages ago.
Kali Ma's probably not gonna like me for that, but
Right, so far we've got beef jerky
so
ages ago, and oh god,
Calamars. Who's Calamars?
good Kali Ma. I was saying Kali's probably not gonna like me for that. So that was kind of like a joke because of my cat. Yeah, and then Kali's like the Hindu goddess of destruction, and they don't believe in eating beef, which I don't usually. However, I've been taking a new liking to meat here lately.
I'm partial, or like I'm in between doing soup and being healthy, or just going for candy, like ice cream for dinner.
You know what I think of when I think of candy? I think of the guy who's like sugar water, like on Men in Black, who's like the
water.
Yeah,
sugar, more. By the way, Kali is one half of the goddess Sophia. Sophia is the gentle, nurturing mother. Kali is often misunderstood by what do you call them, script kids, as the goddess of destruction. No. That is one half of the form of Sophia. I'm just being accurate to Pam.
Thank you for sharing that with me, because I didn't know that.
That's important. Elon should learn about that too.
He should fuck off. That's all I know for sure. He should fuck off. I can't be more pro or prescriptive from that. Not yet.
I mean, they're here for us, or we're here, or we're stuck with them. I'm trying to word that correctly, whether we like it or not. The big corporations, the venture
capitalists. Remember how Elon Musk totes bought Twitter?
That's a good name for him, Elon Musk totes. The time he bought it,
do you guys not remember? Is he really tricking you all?
Remorse.
He didn't buy Twitter.
I didn't mean it.
But I mean, think about it. Like, now he has this. Do you want an edit button? He didn't even buy Twitter. Rubes, that fucking asshole. Fuck him. Fuck you, Elon. You're a fraud.
I don't think I ever started using it until after.
She's like proper. She's proper angry with him, isn't she? I don't know what he's done to her.
Are you Grimes?
No, I'm not really.
Are you?
No, I'm a good musician. But this is Bugs Bunny shit for me.
But you've got a real reckoning. Like this is closer than any of us.
Well, I mean, Closer is a very well written piece. I don't think Grimes has written anything near even like The Good Soldier or like
a new album dropped soon.
I never heard fucking anything except for the fuck Elon song.
Oh no, she's got
Rain, I don't care. I'm watching these kids at the skate park and it's beautiful.
I guess it's bathroom.
Well, like Elon has these like publicity things where he like shakes hands with Kanye or something. Like he's the hip one. He's not Jeff. It's okay.
President Jeff? I have no problem with President Jeff.
I mean, I could literally blow Kanye out of the water, though. I mean, just...
No doubt, but like which... I don't know if it's as much music related or like which X-Men villain are they?
Jeff Bezos? Or Elon Musk?
Yes.
On the first one, I not a villain. Maybe a Bond girl, but the second one, I don't even remember who that is. What the fuck is an Elon Musk? I do not remember.
I guess I'm applying the wrong.
What I mean is, if it becomes funnier at some point to read Jeff Bezos' stupid paper, if that becomes funnier, then I'll do that. But right now, it's way funnier. Elon Musk is way funnier because he's a fucking fraud. He's an empty vessel of nothingness.
Here's the thing. Like, you guys were talking about Hyperloop earlier, right? I don't want to interrupt anyone, if it's okay if I speak.
Well, the way the space works is by a dictatorship, like where everybody feels threatened and can't speak.
Okay, then guess what? Why the fuck didn't Elon fucking enterprise on fucking the BART? He's got so many people that work at his Fremont fucking plant, and he did not put any of his money into it. All he did was hire temps and fuck them over. And a lot of people that work in Fremont, California, at his plant, they were temps. And they could have rode the BART in or out. But guess what Elon didn't give a fuck about?
Anyone else?
That part. And it has nothing to do with anything but... I don't know.
But Elon Musk,
yeah, fuck you. Like, seriously?
He's a fraud.
You seen the motherfucker? Hey, you seen the motherfucker with his shirt off? Come on, man. He's like a nasty keg. Come on, bro. I wouldn't even drink beer if kegs looked like that. So here's the thing. When they first introduced the Hyperloop, I was living in Vegas. And then COVID hit, right? And it was supposed to be the rapid rail from Vegas to SoCal.
No. Hyperloop is a paper written by Elon Musk that does...
No, but the ideology, hyperlinks, with hyperlink...
Hold on. It is masquerading as a paper about a proposition for a train. But it's not that. It's instead faking being above that as a philosophical hyper-realism, but it's not, because he hasn't read any philosophy, because I don't think he can read. You fucking fraud, Elon Musk. God, I hope you fucking ban
fuck you, Elon.
Platform.
Fuck Elon. I said it before anyone else did. The minute he did the things he did.
You did it first.
I did it before somebody made it a tour. That's a fact. And we could search that fact on Telegram. Boom.
Is there a way to find out where he plagiarized it from?
Like, find out what?
Where he plagiarized it.
I'm sorry, you were talking to me. Sorry, my bad. He said banana bread. My bad.
What? Is there a way to find out where Elon gets his banana bread? No. I said, is there a way to find out where he plagiarized it from?
I can't think of an ethical one.
Or he paid a ghostwriter. That's why it can't be called out. It's all ethical.
His name is Elon Musk. And he's, dating Grimes. Like...
First of all, the Grimes chick,
they're not,
I never even checked her out. But is he still dating her, or did he just have a baby with her?
I don't know. Who cares? Fuck them both. Like, she's a...
nope, I don't want
She's a fucking mediocre... Like,
better option.
But the thing, she's not a musician. What is she doing today? Is she writing music or at a photo shoot?
I haven't heard her do nothing. I never heard anything but one song.
Nobody has.
The only reason I heard the one song is because she put that fuck Elon Musk out beforehand, or after she said it.
I don't even know. Is that something that she's made? I don't care. Don't answer that.
I don't know what it was actually
there are
called.
artists
It was like
that matter, you know.
yeah, there are fucking A, right? Like these kids skateboarding at the park right now, and I'm sending them.
Right.
I'm sending footage to the homie who he's sponsored by Sacrifice Skateboards down in SoCal.
Boo,
And these
boo.
kids are having a good day. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not here to talk about that. There was things that we were talking about with hyperlink and such, or hyperloop, and the reason I moved to Vegas is because they were partly, well, that's not the real reason. Like I had the opportunity, but what I did hear was that they could have made a mass rail system there, and it was gonna go from Vegas to LA like super fast, right? Like like an hour and a half.
It's
Yeah,
fast
but
as like tubes and pipes.
it was privatized and underfunded, and it
No,
over.
COVID happened, bro.
Well, even before
What
that
had happened was
though.
COVID. But
Before that though.
I was there. That's why I went there for the Hyperloop thing or the Hyperlink or whatever the fuck they call it. No, Hyperlink was old internet back when I was young.
What were you gonna do for the Hyperloop?
Ride it, motherfucker. What would I do besides ride it? I'm not a fucking engineer. I'm a fixer.
Good God, I hope nobody here is an engineer.
What's
I hope
up,
we
the
got
prof?
computer scientists, people in science.
Hey, little bro, find
Engineer.
yourself in a
Oh my
cool
God.
space to enlighten your mind.
Okay, I'm back. I was listening to everything that was said. I mean, I respect everybody's opinions.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you say yeah, Rain? What the fuck, you stupid blonde?
Because it's a joke. Like, he has to respect the opinion that it's dumb.
I don't even want to hit my
kind
laughing
of
emoji
funny.
right now.
Well, I think it's funnier than Hyperloop. That you see, like, talking about a train. That's what is supposed to happen.
Well, that's the thing, dude. Like, if a motherfucker wanted to fucking really make a train, why didn't he make a train in a place that where it would?
I'm
where
watching
would it?
Donald Glover murder people over and over again right now. This is America. I can't let you. I'm so cool.
This is America.
I'm so cool.
Let's start a band.
Don't
we start a band.
Don't get into that.
Woo!
That's just why. I don't know.
I got a strap. I got a carry. I got a carry. I'm so pretty. This motherfucker's so talented.
We're starting a band. It's going to be called Hyperloop. And then we're going to publish it on Apple.
And that's what I'm not going to be a part of.
I'm a coward. I will commit suicide before doing that. That's the plan.
You don't think Elon will pay instantly for you to take it down?
Oh, no. You have to have money to pay. Fucking fraud.
No, he won't fucking pay. He'll leave it up just to get more fucking publicity. He's a bitch. Woo! Nice!
That hurts me when y'all talk bad about him.
Split, she's going hard.
The negativity hurts me.
Slowed it down. This is fun. I like watching kids skate, man. Pure innocence, pure form, pure fun. That's what we're about. That's what life's about.
But what's the decibel of pureness? Like, what's the ratio?
Decibel, bitch? There's no decibel, bro. It's fucking heart. Fuck you, Rain. It's boom, 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 boom. It's your fucking heartbeat. What's the decibel of pure? It's your fucking heartbeat, or it's not.
I like that. Ski. The rhythm of life, yes.
I mean, you could call that 0 decibels. Like, it's a relative scale. What? Like, 1 decibel means it's a little higher from 0. What the fuck?
It's just hard for me to see something real pure and.
Oh, like Elon? Returning to our contrast text. What did we go with? Oh, right. after the orgy, or transcendence, or what is it? The transparency of evil. In this sense, therefore, inasmuch as we have access to neither the beautiful nor the ugly, and are incapable of judging, we are condemned to indifference. Beyond this indifference, however, another kind of fascination emerges, a fascination which replaces aesthetic pleasure. For, once liberated from their respective constraints, the beautiful and the ugly, in a sense, multiply. They become more beautiful than beautiful, more ugly than ugly. Thus, painting currently cultivates, if not ugliness exactly, which remains an aesthetic value, then the uglier than ugly, the bad, the worse, kitsch. An ugliness raised to the second power because it is liberated from any relationship with its opposite. Once freed from the true Mondrian, we are at liberty to out Mondrian. Freed from the true... How the fuck is that pronounced? Is that how it's pronounced? How the fuck is that pronounced? No, it's pronounced knave. We can paint in a way that is more knave than knave, and so on. And once freed from reality, we can produce the realer than real, hyperrealism. It was in fact with hyperrealism and pop art that everything began, that everyday life was raised to the ironic power of the photographic realism. Today, this escalation has caught up every form of art, every style, and all, without discrimination, have entered the trans-aesthetic world of simulation. Fuck you, Elon Musk.
Would you like to take turns reading?
That'd be great. Would you like to go?
I can. I need to get back on page. So we're reading the hyperloop.
Why would you fucking even offer to fucking read if you weren't even on the goddamn page? Can you tell me where the page is? I'll find it and I'll fucking pick up where you left off.
Well, he was about to. He was about to when you started yelling at him.
No, I didn't. He was not about to. He asked if somebody wanted to read with.
There's a parallel to this escalation in the art market itself. Here too, because an end has been put to any deference to the law of value, to the logic of commodities, everything has become more expensive than expensive. Expensive, as it were, squared. Prices are exorbitant. The bidding has gone through the roof, just as the abandonment of all aesthetic ground. Rules provoke a kind of brush fire of aesthetic values, so the loss of all reference to the laws of exchange means that the market hurtles into unrestrained speculation. The frenzy, the folly, the sheer excess are the same. The promotional ignition of art is directly linked to the impossibility of all aesthetic evaluation. In the absence of value, judgments, value goes up in flames, and it goes up in a sort of ecstasy. There are two art markets today. One is still regulated by a hierarchy of values, even if these are already of a speculative kind. The other resembles nothing so much as floating in an uncontrollable capital in the financial market. It is pure speculation, movement for movement's own sake, with no apparent purpose other than to defy the laws of value. This second art market has much in common with poker, or potlatch, I guess. It is a space opera in the hyperspace of value. Should we be so scandalized? No. There is nothing immoral here. Just as present-day art is beyond beautiful and ugly, the market, for its part, is beyond good and evil.
Ichi Soto.
Ichi fucking Soto indeed.